Yo legends! Welcome back to the channel. Grab your headphones and lock in, because today's story is on another level. Want the next chapter? Drop a comment below, and if the legend continues, I'm bringing it straight to you. Disclaimer: I do not claim ownership of this story. All rights belong to the original creators. Note: I'm constantly tweaking the settings to make it as immersive as possible. Naruto, one-click full-level system. Chapter 1: One-click full-level system. The Land of Fire and the Land of Thunder border. In the secret cave, Konoha ninjas, more or less injured, gathered here. Everyone's face was ashen. Damn Kumo ninja, take action during our decisive battle with Iwa ninja and Suna ninja. Our current strength is only 29. While the opponent has at least hundreds of troops, and the team is led by the AB combination that is widely rumored among the Cloud Ninjas. Those are the Raikage candidates among the Kumo ninjas and the A-tailed Jinchuriki. If we don't retreat now, once an encirclement is formed, we will definitely die. The Konoha ninjas in the field were anxious. The third ninja war started with the disappearance of the third Kazekage. The Iwa ninja took the opportunity to break through the Kanabi Bridge defense line and launch an attack on Konoha. The Water Kingdom launched an attack, allowing Konoha to independently open up 3 battlefields. I thought that the rear area was stable, but I didn't expect that Yan Ninja would also lose his composure and send out his elite to attack in a roundabout way. For a time, Konoha could only forcefully transfer personnel and open the 4th battlefield. However, facing the Cloud Ninja, these ninja teams that they had put together were obviously unable to do what they wanted. In the battle with the Vanguard, most of them were lost. Now the enemy deliberately disseminated information about the AB group in order to defeat them without a fight. Have you not received a reply to your request for support? We already have an answer. It's the Golden Flash Namikaze Shuido-sama who is here in person. Lord Minato? Didn't he have a decisive battle at Mount Kikyo? I'm afraid that Lord Minato won't be able to get there before the Kumo ninja arrives. The excitement on everyone's faces disappeared instantly. Namikaze Minato became famous during the Third Ninja War, and even achieved a great reputation. Unfortunately, distant water cannot save nearby fire. It would be difficult for them to hold this pass alone. According to the speed of the Kumo ninja, they will arrive in 3 days. We are no match for the Kumo ninja in terms of individual combat power. If we include the AB combination, we will definitely lose. A Konoha ninja unable to calm down. As soon as the words fell, all eyes in the audience were fixed on the 2 leading men. This time, the coordinator of the 4th battlefield was led by 2 jounin sent by Danzo's Gen. They are a Burame Root and Mountain Wind. Let's check the condition of the injured first. If it's too serious, we'll give up all, Shinfeng said in a deep voice. This time, if the Uchiha clan member assigned to our team is Shunshin Shisui, then we may not have a retreat. That Uchiha Kinyu was very unlucky. As soon as he entered the battlefield, the talisman array was detonated and he was seriously injured. I heard that his Sharingan is still a single Madatama. Noisy discussions came from the entrance of the cave. Kinyu, who was about 14 or 15 years old, opened his eyes in confusion. Looking at the wounded lying beside him, he couldn't help but feel confused. Holy crap, how did you really travel through time? He also traveled through time and became an Uchiha who would be exterminated sooner or later, and this seems to be the battlefield of the Third Ninja War. Kinyu was stunned. The crazy combination of memories in his mind made him feel inexplicably confused. It's a life and death battle from the very beginning. Doesn't this send him on the road to death? Moreover, the conversation just now seemed to indicate that they were planning to give up on evacuating the wounded. Then he might really have become cannon fodder. Asshole, I won't be the one who dies the fastest among the time-traveling army. It's not my style to give away people at the beginning. Ding dong, the one-click full-level plugin has been successfully activated. Do you want to use it immediately? Cut in. one click to reach full level. Kinyu was stunned. This happiness comes so suddenly. No. It should be said that the Golden Finger is the standard equipment for the time-traveling army, and it comes just in time. Enable one-click full-level plugin. Kinyu quickly ordered. Ding dong, congratulations on the successful activation of the host. The database is being built. Host, Uchiha Kinyu Ninja Level, Chunin Ninjutsu, Fire Release Go Fireball, Fire Release Dragon Fire Jutsu, Shadow Clone, Instantaneous Body Jutsu, Single Magatama Sharingan. Looking at this simple attribute panel, Kinyu finally understood why people outside looked so disdainful. The Uchiha clan is full of talented people, but putting this kind of strength in it is completely holding them back. Scanning is complete. Will the host immediately use one click to reach full level? Use it immediately. Kinyu quickly gave the order. This is a delicious cake, so if you don't use it, it will go to waste. Ding, Sharingan is at full level, successfully opening the main Jikayo Sharingan. Congratulations to the host for gaining hidden abilities, Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, and Susanoo. Ding, the skill of Hao Fireball is at full level. Ding, Dragon Fire technique is at full level. Ding, the skill of Instantaneous Body is at full level. Ding, the Shadow Clone technique is at full level. Activate multiple Shadow Clones. Ding, multiple Shadow Clones are at full level. A series of system sounds flashed through my mind. Seeing this scene, Kinyu was a little confused. This means that Kinyu can instantly reach the full level of any ninjutsu he comes into contact with. Whether it was Susanoo, Tsukuyomi, or Amaterasu, it was a killing move that could kill the air in seconds. Others have worked hard for decades and spent countless efforts to achieve achievements. With me, I can reach the full level with just one click. This cheating is really exciting. Kinyu felt the huge power emerging from his eyes and couldn't help but smile. Kinyu, don't move around. The wound on your body has just healed. It would be bad if it opens again. A black-haired Shizune appeared in Kinyu's field of vision. She is the only medical ninja in the entire team. In this battle, death may be a relief, but living is a sin. At least, looking at Shizune's sweaty head and pale face, it was obvious that she had exhausted too much chakra and physical strength. Seeing the medical chakra lighting up again in her hand, Kinyu reached out to stop it. Don't worry, my health is already very good. You'd better take a rest. If you continue, I'm worried that you will consume too much energy and pass out, Kinyu advised. Shizune shook her head stubbornly, biting her red lips, and said, Tsunade-sama said that medical ninjas are the last guardians of life on the battlefield. If even I give up, then they will also be given up. I'm not willing to give in. If I could be as powerful as Tsunade-sama and summon Slug-sama to help treat everyone, they wouldn't have to give up. Shizune's eyes were red and she knelt on the ground, clutching her trousers with both hands. My parents have died in this war. I don't want those who are waiting for their parents to come back to be as disappointed as me. I don't want to. They are obviously still alive. Why should they be abandoned? I am not willing to accept it. I am obviously a medical ninja, but I can't do anything now. Hot tears burst onto the back of his hands along with slight sobs. The lips that were forcefully pursed were full of unwilling grievances. Perhaps this is the reluctance of doctors. Chapter 2 let you see what despair is. Kinyu, what do you think I should do? Xingyan raised her head hesitantly, tears already covering her face. Now, she doesn't look like an experienced medical ninja at all. Instead, she feels like a helpless child. You have done a good enough job. Kinyu got up, gently wiped away Shizune's tears and said, just leave this matter to me. Feeling the warmth on her palm, Shizune couldn't help but be startled. Normally, Uchiha Kinyu is a shy, or in other words, low self-esteem young man. Now, the feeling given to her was completely different. Those pair of eyes as firm as an eagle gave her an inexplicable sense of security. However, When she thought of the intimate and slightly ambiguous behavior now, Shizyun's cheeks turned slightly red and she quickly changed the subject. They were seriously injured. How to save them next? Unless they are transported back to Konoha or supported by more medical ninjas, they are already discussing retreat and abandon these wounded. Don't worry, as long as I am here, they will not give up. This war will come to an end and we will go home together. Kinyu moved his body and stood up. With a confused look on her face, Shizyun gave a chestnut directly between her eyebrows and walked out. Disgusting. Shizyun subconsciously rubbed her forehead, but found that her tone of voice seemed a bit strange, and her cheeks turned red. At the cave entrance, the battle meeting continues. As soon as Kinyu got closer, he heard the final decision. Now, in the name of Captain, I propose to abandon the wounded immediately and retreat. If you are willing, please raise your hands. Shen Feng suddenly said. The oil girl on the side took the root and raised her hand to agree. I do. The transportation of the wounded and the treatment along the way will slow down the retreat of the large forces, so it is necessary to abandon the wounded. I hope you will consider it carefully, and don't forget how Konoha White Fang ended up. As soon as these words were spoken, the expressions of everyone present suddenly changed dramatically. The death of Konoha White Fang Hokage Sakumo was a huge loss to the Konoha ninja village. It's a pity that his death was despised by most people. People are selfish. They only focus on results and don't care what they sacrifice in the process. Now Abiram Takeshin's words have obviously forced their choice to a dead end. There's no need to choose. We don't agree at all and we won't give up on our teammates casually. Kinyu said lightly. It's Uchiha Kinyu. Isn't his injury very serious? Why did he wake up so soon? Many people were shocked. They were still frightened when they thought of Kinyu, who was rescued from the detonating talisman array and covered in blood. Abiram Tojin and Shen Feng's expressions couldn't help but darken. Whether they are in the roots or in Konoha, they can be regarded as little geniuses. When had they ever been questioned in public and openly opposed their decision-making? Moreover, the thought instilled in his roots is that he can easily give up anything for the sake of victory. Kinyu, you are just a chunin and are not qualified to participate in this decision. Quickly step aside. Shen Feng shouted in a deep voice. If there is another time where you make random remarks to confuse people's minds, then don't blame me for the military law. As soon as these words came out, the expressions of everyone in the audience changed drastically, and they all looked at Kinyu, who was completely different from the usual shy and inferior person. Their intuition told them that Kinyu might have lost his mind and dared to contradict Jen. Uchiha Kinyu, you dare to ignore the captain's order, you are seeking death. Shen Feng shouted angrily. Everyone's expressions couldn't help but change. Abiram Torin also echoed in a cold voice. Don't forget, we are facing hundreds of Kumo ninjas and AB combinations. This is a world where the jungle prevails. You, a weakling who can't even reach the level of Jounin, have no right to speak. I'll give you 2 chances now. The first one is to shut up and get out of the way. Second, die. The awe-inspiring words caused a huge change in the expressions of everyone present. Kinyu, come back quickly. Shizyun rushed out and said urgently, Everyone, I'm sorry, Kinyu's consciousness is still not very clear. Shizyun, leave this matter to me. Kinyu interrupted with his hand, raised his head and looked directly at Abiram and said, Then you mean that companions can kill each other? Can I also kill you? A small voice swept through the cave, causing everyone's expressions to change dramatically. This was completely different from the timid Kinyu they knew. HMPH, what a Uchiha Kinyu, we have known for a long time that your clan is ready to make a move. But you are too naive. With your strength, you actually threatened to kill me. Abiram Taichin laughed with disdain. HMPH, you're a chunin waste with no strength at all. You were just staying aside, and we might even take you away, but now it seems like you're exempt. Shen Feng said coldly, the following is a violation of the captain's order. We have the right to kill you. Weak people should hide in the corner and tremble. The killing energy was suddenly locked on Qin Yu's body. Everyone present knew clearly that as long as Qin Yu made the slightest move, a thunderous killing move would be waiting for him. Yami think, we are companions, don't go too far. A purple-haired Jonin stood out from the crowd. In this situation, we should calm down and discuss it before we can find a solution. Humph, Mao Yu, I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. This time the mission is entirely ours. This guy is so weak and is already holding us back. Now he is blatantly disobeying orders. We have the right to kill him. You mean, if you have the strength, you can kill people? That's good, let me show you what despair is. Qin Yu smiled jokingly. The blood in the pupils was like a tide, occupying the entire pupils in an instant, and the next moment, 9 Magatama were connected into one. The turbulent pupil power, like a hurricane, exploded instantly with Qin Yu as the center. Her black hair was moving without the wind, and her blood-colored pupils gave people a heart-wrenching feeling. What kind of eyes are these? Uchiha Kinyu, isn't it a single drawing Sharingan? Now it's 1, 2, 3 9 Magatama. What is going on? Among the Uchiha clan, the 3 Magatama are already very powerful. The 9 Magatama the powerful eye force is oppressive, and the 9 Magatama Manjikayo Sharingan is as bloody as the tide. The expressions of everyone in the cave changed drastically. The Uchiha clan is a famous clan in the ninja world. The evolutionary pattern of the Sharingan has already been figured out. Single Magatama, double Magatama, triple Magatama. This is the most common change. It can be said that even among the Uchiha clan, only a few people know about the Manjikayo Sharingan, not to mention those who awaken by chance. However, none of this matters. The most important thing is that they feel the smell of disaster from the pressure of this extremely powerful eye force. Chapter 3 A disagreement opens up Susan. How is this possible? Isn't he a Chunin waste? How could he open the legendary kaleidoscope? Abiram Tojin's expression suddenly changed. He and Shen Feng, as Danzo's confidants, are also the combatants with the highest roots. Of course he knows a thing or two about the secrets of the Uchiha clan. This is the only explanation for the pair of Sharingan eyes that transcend common sense. Wind. Abiram Tojin and Shen Feng couldn't help but look at each other. Do it. Heart-turning technique. The mountain wind was the first to explode, and he pressed his hands in the air to directly use the secret technique of the mountain clan. At the same time, Abiram took a root and stirred it in her mouth, then opened her mouth and spit out a black mist. Secret technique, the technique of poisonous dust. The violent scene shook everyone's nerves. Shizun's expression changed and she shouted urgently, Qin Yu, be careful, this black mist is a nano-level poisonous insect. Once it is taken into the body, you will definitely die. Don't worry. Qin Yu suddenly raised his head, his 9 Magatama Samsara eyes turning crazily. The chakra that filled the surroundings and was filled with the smell of disaster rolled back towards Qin Yu's body like a frenzy the next moment. Boy, you are too conceited. As long as poison dust comes 1 meter closer to you, Abiram Tojin's smile couldn't help but falter. The poisonous dust blowing towards Qin Yu was stopped by the invisible scarlet aura 3 feet away from Qin Yu. The next moment, the pupil energy rolling all over the sky transformed into a terrifying skeleton. The originally small cave was filled to the brim. A pair of eyes with blood-red flames exuding a breathtaking atmosphere. Phew! The poisonous insects that came towards them were instantly burned up by the flames. It turned into a piece of dust and scattered on the ground. A word of disagreement opens Susan. Looking at the scary-looking skeleton, the bloody energy ribs, and the dancing flames in the deep-set eye sockets. Just looking at it gives people a chill down their spine. How is it possible? You are obviously controlled by Feng's secret technique. Abiram Tojin's expression suddenly changed. Not only because of the Susanoo shown by Qin Yu, but also because of the invincible combination of his and Chen Feng's killing moves. I don't know how it was broken. Haha, have you forgotten that our Uchiha clan is best at illusions in addition to fire escape? Kinyu sneered. What? Iburaim Tojin's expression suddenly changed. As she hurriedly moved, she found that her whole body seemed to be restricted by invisible shackles. My body can't move. When did you cast an illusion on me? What's wrong? Are you scared now? Kinyu sneered. It's too late. Roar. Susanoo roared, and his right hand with protruding bones struck the two of them like lightning. No. Since you want me to die, then you should die too. Iburaim took the root with a ferocious look on her face. Unlike Yamaphase, his body was restricted, but he was still able to give orders to the parasite. Secret technique, insect explosion technique. The poisonous insects all over the body suddenly became restless, and the surface of the Iburaim's body quickly swelled with roots. Boom! The poisonous insect detonated instantly, a powerful wave of air swept over, and the dark green poisonous gas dispersed with the wind. Everyone, be careful, don't inhale these poisonous gases, Shizune exclaimed. But soon I saw the whole world spinning, and I woke up. They are still in the cave. However, this time there was no trace of battle or poisonous insect explosion in the cave. He hurriedly looked at Kinyu, only to find that Iburaim Taishin and Chen Feng were kneeling on the ground and giggling as if they were demented. With this weird look, he was obviously still trapped in an illusion. What kind of illusion is this? It can control all of our minds instantly. The battle just now was all an illusion. Two Jonin were pulled into the illusion without knowing it. There is no way to escape now. This is too terrifying. Anyone with a keen eye can spot the clues instantly. However, looking at Chen Feng and Iburaim taking root, who looked like idiots and giggled, they felt a lingering fear in their hearts, and their spines were still chilling. They knew very well that if Kinyu was in a bad mood just now, he could easily kill them all. This is definitely not a problem. They can go to the battlefield and have already been mentally prepared. However, death can be a grand death, but this kind of death can also be an unclear death. Make it unacceptable for them. Okay, murderers will always be killed. If they want to kill me, then it should be normal for me to kill them, right? Kinyu seemed to have done an insignificant thing, scanning the entire audience with a scrutinizing gaze. Then he walked slowly towards the mountains where Feng and Iburaim took root. Yes, Kinyu is right. Gen's character is too indifferent, and he dares to kill his companions. Even if the news is reported back to Konoha, he will not be able to escape punishment. Instead of letting these two people stay in the team like fish bones stuck in the throat, it is better to take action and get rid of them. Now Iburaim Taishin and Chen Feng are unable to convince the crowd, and the team has no leader. Kinyu, you have outstanding strength. I implore you to lead the team. The ninjas in the field all agreed. Kinyu couldn't help but smile. There is no shortage of wallweed anywhere. But the only thing that satisfied him was that these people never offered to give up on their teammates or take action against him. Otherwise, he didn't mind and got rid of them easily. Kinyu, you can't kill them, Shizune suddenly persuaded. Danzo is very vindictive. Once Yamaphase and Iburaim Taishin are killed, you will definitely be labeled as a traitor to the ninja. I don't want anything to happen to you. As soon as these words came out, the expressions of many people in the venue changed. They have heard more or less about Gen's behavior. However, no matter how Danzo's identity is placed here, many people dare to be angry but dare not speak out. Moreover, many people saw Danzo's hostility towards the Uchiha clan. You don't want anything to happen to me? Kinyu looked at Shizune with a smile. Shizune's expression froze, a trace of blush appeared on her cheeks, and finally she gritted her teeth and nodded. I don't want anything to happen to everyone. So that's it. It seems that I expressed my wrong feelings. Kinyu laughed dryly and said, Since you are talking, Shizune, I will let them go for the time being. but they can escape death penalty and life punishment cannot be spared. Let's lock them up first. Everyone highly praises me, so I won't shirk it. I will rest here for 3 days. After 3 days, we will take the initiative to fight. Kinyu looked at Shizune and said, "In my eyes, my companions must never give up. Unless you step over my body, someone, take them down first." The indifferent voice made everyone in the venue suddenly shaken. Originally, in their eyes, Kinyu was a shy and cowardly person. But now, because of everything in front of me, this label has been completely subverted. Whether it's using illusions to instantly defeat Shinfeng and Aburame to get their roots, or taking the initiative now. In their eyes, Kinyu stood up for his companions. This gave them, as companions, an inexplicable sense of security. Chapter 4 I learned quickly. Kinyu, don't worry, this pass is an important strategic location for us in the Fire Country. Although we will not disobey orders, we will never give up easily. Otherwise, once the Yunren pass the pass, we will be destroyed. If it is 0, it is a huge threat to Konoha. Yuzuki Kangu, who had just stopped him, said in a deep voice. Get ready, Kinyu said looking at these people. The world of Naruto is dominated by the weak and the strong, and the strength shown by Kinyu is enough to frighten them. What's more, if you abandon your companions, even if it's for a mission, you will still be despised when you return to Konoha. Moreover, once Kumo Ninja passes through this pass and enters Konoha, it will be a flat plain, like entering an uninhabited land. It may be too difficult to continue to block it. Kinyu, don't worry, all the ninjas agreed and planned to take precautions. By the way, which one of you has a ninjutsu scroll with you? Kinyu suddenly remembered something important. He now has a one-click max level system that can max out various ninjutsu. There are still 3 days to spare, so of course you cannot easily let go of the opportunity to enhance your own strength. Moreover, Kumo Ninja's AB combination is not an easy character to deal with. Ninjutsu scroll. The more than 20 ninjas present were startled. No, Kinyu didn't hold much hope. After all, in this wartime situation, who would carry a learning scroll with them? Moreover, there are centralized ninjutsu scroll training rooms in the ninja village. Most of the ninjutsu are passed down by teachers or guided by elders. Very few people carry ninjutsu scrolls with them alone. If he were defeated on the battlefield, not only would his life be lost, but the scroll might also fall on someone else. Mao Yukane stood out from the crowd and said, Kinyu, I don't know why you want the ninjutsu scroll. This is the A-level ninjutsu I prepared for my daughter, Thunder Release and Thunder. I originally planned to go back and give it to her after the mission is completed. A gift from becoming a Chunin. Rather than fall into the hands of Kumo Ninja, I might as well give it to you now. Your daughter? Kinyu raised his eyebrows, looked at the outline of the Jounin's face in front of him, and said, Is your daughter Yuzuki Zien? Haha, Mao Yu, your daughter is really outstanding, even Kinyu has noticed. A big man laughed heartily. Oyuki Kanwu glared and said, Shut up, you bastard. You keep introducing your son to me, my precious daughter, but I swear, the one she likes is at least a special Jounin. Yes, my son Inuyarashi will soon become a Chunin, especially a Jounin. Inubang quickly retorted. Oyu, what do you think of Kinyu? His strength can definitely reach the level of a special Jounin, and his genjutsu skills are not even comparable to those of us old guys. A sudden voice emerged from the team. Shizune's expression froze, and she said urgently, Stop joking, give the scroll to Kinyu first, he may have some use for it. Xiao Jian, why are you blushing? It's not because you like Kinyu. As the roar of laughter spread, the depressing atmosphere in the cave dissipated slightly. After Oyu Kanwu looked up and down, he patted Kinyu on the shoulder and said, Good boy, your powerful illusion can indeed reach the limit of a special Jounin. I leave this scroll to you. If you can go back alive, I have a letter here that I hope you can pass on to my daughter. Kinyu, I also have something here. Please help me deliver it to my son. I have it here too. I'm troubling you too. He looked at the ninjas who were taking out letters and other personal belongings. There is no doubt that Kinyu is the person with the best chance of returning to Konoha alive. Kinyu, can you help me return this kunai to Tsunade-sama? Shizune couldn't hold back her anger. This is the apprenticeship gift she gave me for a moment. The smiles on everyone's faces were filled with a trace of bitterness. Do you think this battle is inevitable? Kinyu said lightly. Then when Shanfeng and the others decided to retreat just now, why didn't you agree? Everyone's expressions froze. In their eyes, Kinyu was strong enough to reach the level of a special jounin. However, there are hundreds of Kumo ninjas and AB combinations, so not one person can resist. Maukemu said anxiously, Kinyu, don't get me wrong, we are not people who are greedy for life and afraid of death. When we became ninjas and took over the mission, we already had the heart to die. What's more, this pass is the main passage to Konoha. If Kumo Ninja is allowed to cross here and drive straight in, Konoha will be attacked from both sides, and the lives of our families and children will also be threatened. So, we would rather die than retreat. Quan Feng also nodded and said solemnly, Kinyu, we have always underestimated you. We did not expect that you are proficient in such a powerful illusion. We already have the heart to die here. We just hope that you can help us bring something back. Can you just help them? Jean couldn't help but persuaded, help me too. For a moment, everyone looked at Kinyu with a hint of hope. Sorry, I won't help you. Kinyu said lightly, take these things back and hand them back to yourself. Including this scroll, let's go back together. The small voice swept through the entire venue like a hurricane, shaking everyone's souls at the same time. Mao Kangwu couldn't help but clenched his fists. His eyes were slightly red and he said, okay, what the good boy said is right. Let's go back together. When I go back, I will definitely introduce my daughter to you. Haha, Mao, you are really disrespectful. HMPH. I see you are now wishing you had a daughter to introduce to Kinyu. Mao Kangwu glared and said, Kinyu, why do you want a ninjutsu scroll? This is A-level Thunder Escape and Thunder. Everyone couldn't help but look at Kinyu with curiosity. Before facing a life and death battle, this A-level ninjutsu is very powerful, but it is obviously useless. Nothing, I just want to learn 2 more ninjutsu. Kinyu took the scroll. He has a one-click max level system, and for ninjutsu, the more the better. I'm afraid I'm a little behind in learning ninjutsu now. Oyukemu looked stagnant and said, it took me more than a month to learn this ninjutsu before I mastered it completely. Now I only have 3 days, which seems a bit too much. Rushed. Don't worry, I will learn it soon. Kinyu did not explain. I can't tell them that I have a system by my side and can reach full level with just 1 click. I'm afraid no one believes this. Oyukangwu was startled for a moment and said, okay, I also know this ninjutsu. If you insist on learning it, I can guide you. Thank you, Uncle Maoyu. I am enough on my own. Kinyu shook his head and walked out first with the scroll. Watching Kinyu's back go away, many ninjas in the field sighed secretly. Chapter 5. Lei Qilin reaches full level in 1 click. This Kinyu seems to be a little overconfident. Learning A-level ninjutsu is not easy. It took even the experienced Utsuki more than a month to learn it. How could it be possible to succeed in 3 days? Yu Feng couldn't help but said, okay, young people are like this. Just hit the wall. Mao Kangwu patted Quan Feng on the shoulder and said, I hope Kinyu will understand that some things cannot be forced. Outside the cave, there is a slightly remote basin. After Kinyu unfolded the Thunder Escape scroll, he immediately opened the main Jikayo Sharingan. The Sharingan fell into Kakashi's hands, creating the reputation of Copy Ninja Kakashi. For a ninja, there are 2 most important levels in learning ninjutsu. The first is getting started and the second is mastering. However, Kinyu now has the main Jikayo Sharingan, which can be achieved in an instant. As for mastery, he can reach the full level with 1 click. Now Kinyu can be said to be equipped with the original physical plugin and the invincible upgrade plugin. Riding on a horse is incredible. Ding, find out the speed of the seal technique and whether it reaches the level with one click. Maximum level immediately. Kinyu's hands flew rapidly, and the chakra in his body was undergoing precise changes in nature. Thunder escape lightning. When the last magic seal fell, a low roar came from the sky. 9 rays of lightning, like a hidden dragon emerging from the abyss, struck directly on the rock 7 or 8 meters away with a fierce attitude. Boom! The huge rock exploded into pieces. Under the lightning splash, rubble flew, and a large crater of more than 10 meters was blasted out. Under the smoke, it looked shocking. Looking at this scene, Kinyu couldn't help but be confused. According to the description of a level lightning escape and thunder falling on the scroll, once you master this ninjutsu, you can communicate with the thunder element floating in the world and perform a lightning strike. However, the scene before him went beyond this scope. Could it be because of the one-click max level system? Kinyu raised his eyebrows. He remembered that Uchiha Madara once said in the original work that there is no weakest ninjutsu, only the weakest people. A fire escape and a big fireball can give you the feeling of using a big move. Only Uchiha Madara can do it. Kinyu's current condition is probably due to his maxed out ninjutsu. However, that blow just now still consumed 1/10 of the chakra in Kinyu's body. Ding dong, thunder attribute chakra, 1 click to reach full level. Ding dang, thunder escape lande, reach full level with 1 click. Ding dong, the lightning attribute natural power induction can reach the full level with 1 click. The system prompts in his mind instantly confirmed Kinyu's thoughts. Looking at the large crater struck by lightning not far away, I suddenly remembered the awesome ninjutsu among Uchiha Sasuke in the Thunder Release ninjutsu. S-Class Thunder Release Qilin. It can be said that if this ninjutsu does not require the help of the right time, place, and people, it can be performed. The destructive power alone is enough to rival Uzumaki Naruto's Wind Release Rasen Shuriken. It's a pity that in the original work, this Lei Qilin appears to be awesome, but in the later stage it is completely short-lived. Only appeared 3 times. This is a pity for many Fire fans. The number of Cloud Ninja attacking now reaches hundreds, and there are also AB combinations. This is destined to be a tough battle. Once caught in a protracted battle, with Kinyu's current chakra level, even if he had the main Jikyo Sharingan, he would be consumed to death. Therefore, this S-Class Lei Qilin may be the key to Kinyu turning the situation around. It can use the power of thunder and lightning to greatly reduce the consumption of chakra and exert a speed of 1/1000th of the speed of light. As a large-scale killing move, it may be able to play an unexpected role. What's more, Kinyu also has a one-click max level system. There is a high chance that the Lei Qilin can be reproduced, and it would be good to temporarily serve as the ace at the bottom of the box. 3 days is just a blink of an eye. Ding dang, Thunder Release Qilin can be leveled up in 1 click. Kinyu breathed a sigh of relief when he heard this familiar reminder. The slightest connection with the accumulated thunderclouds in the sky was instantly severed. The thunderclouds accumulated in the sky and the earth suddenly dispersed, and a huge looming pressure appeared like a flash in the pan. Fortunately, the one-click max level system has also maxed out the natural force induction of thunder attributes. Otherwise, the thunder escape unicorn test would not have been so successful. Kinyu dispersed the chakra in his body. During this period of training, he clearly understood the shortcomings of the Uchiha clan, lack of blue. No wonder, the immortal eyes and the immortal human body are eventually exhausted every time they fight a protracted battle. Even Madara Uchiha in the original work managed to transplant and devour the cells of the first Hokage. It seems that after the matter here is settled, Kinyu will still try to get the immortal body. When Kinyu walked out of the secluded basin, the 27 Konoha ninja who stayed behind had already gathered. Everyone's face was full of solemnity, they were all ready to fight, and there was a hint of determination to die in their pupils. In their eyes, this war that cannot be retreated is far more dangerous when faced with hundreds of cloud ninjas combined with AB. However, beyond the pass is the land of fire. Once this place is lost, let alone the Konoha ninja village, even their family will be in a desperate situation, so they cannot retreat. Kinyu, if you haven't mastered the A-level ninjutsu, don't be discouraged. Even the bastard Oyuki spent more than a month. Inufeng couldn't help but advise. However, the cumulonimbus clouds that suddenly appeared just now seemed like there was something hiding in the clouds, which made people feel depressed. We thought that the cloud ninjas were coming for a sneak attack. Quan Feng, if you don't mention the pot, can't you talk less about it? Mao Yukangwu glared. Boy, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Again, if you can't hold on, take Shizune and escape first. A ninjutsu can't be learned in just 2 or 3 days. Seeing Kinyu's appearance, many people's expressions softened slightly. After all, after witnessing the powerful illusions performed by Kinyu, he felt a little more inexplicable about this previously unknown young man. Chapter 6 gives you 2 choices. The time is just right. I have already learned that ninjutsu, Kinyu said with a smile. You learned A-level ninjutsu in 3 days? Oyukanwu was startled, then he patted Kinyu's shoulder cheerfully and said, You are such a good boy, you are still joking at this time. But this is good, it will ease the atmosphere a little. According to the report from the secret sentry 30 minutes ago, the large force of Kumo ninja has appeared 5 kilometers away. Please give the order. Regarding the doubt, Kinyu did not explain, frowned and said with a smile, 30 minutes ago? I'm not stipulating that intelligence updates during wartime are every 15 minutes. Mao Yukangwu's expression suddenly changed. They completely ignored this point due to the reorganization of the team and the oppressive atmosphere of going to death. Yuzuki, something bad has happened. Yamaphase and Aburame Tojin have disappeared. A genin in charge of guarding hurriedly arrived. As soon as these words came out, everyone's nerves suddenly became tense. The 2 events appear to be unrelated. If we think about it more deeply, their hidden whistles will be eliminated silently, and there will be no time to even issue a warning. Is it related to the 2 of them? Get everyone back into the cave. Kinyu shouted urgently. The expressions of everyone present changed. Haha, I just realized it now. I thought Konoha sent someone to resist the attack of our Kumo ninja this time, but it turned out to be a stupid green man. Hearty laughter echoed without warning. Figures flashed out in all directions. There were so many of them. There were hundreds of them. Head among them, on the hill a few hundred meters away, was the AB combination that frightened all countries. No, we are surrounded. Quan Feng's face turned pale. Looking at the cloud ninja blocking them, anyone who wasn't a fool would know that this was a trap. There are hundreds of people, there are AB combinations, and we are ambushed, we are basically dead. Senior Oyu, what should we do? It must be the mountain wind and Aburame who took the route. Otherwise our defense layout and secret sentry would not have been seen through. The scene was in chaos, facing hundreds of people led by AI, who was known as the next generation Raikage of Cloud Ninja Village, and Rabbi Kiri, the 8-tailed Jinchuriki. This is undoubtedly a disaster. Calm down. Mao Yukangwu's face turned pale. When he looked at Kinyu, he couldn't help but be startled. The calm look on his face seemed like he didn't take any of this to heart. Are you scared? Haha, your panic really makes me happy. AI laughed unbridled and said, I really want to know what your plans are next, whether you surrender obediently or let me kill you myself. Kill. Surrender or die. Hundreds of people shouted in unison, which made all Konoha ninjas tense to the extreme, and the panic on their faces could not be concealed. The cloud ninja in front of him completely demonstrated his ability to take the lead. Kinyu. Shizune's little face also turned pale, and she couldn't help but look at Uchiha Kinyu. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Kinyu rubbed Shizune's head and said, Senior Oyu, take them to retreat to the cave and hide in the barrier. Leave the other matters to me. Kinyu had also expected all this. After all, the roots in the original work can do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. Now Shanfeng and the two were seized by Qin Feng, and they even gave up their teammates and important strategic positions. Once Kinyu and others are allowed to go back alive, it will probably have a negative impact on the other party. Therefore, the only way is to strike first and kill with a borrowed knife. However, this also played into Kinyu's wish. Next time they meet, he will be able to attack him without any scruples. One more grand excuse. Kinyu, are you alone? Are you crazy? We won't watch you die alone. Mao Yukangwu's expression changed, and he never expected Kinyu to give such an answer. Although he was facing hundreds of young ninjas and the fearsome AB combination, they couldn't do it if he asked Kinyu to fight against him alone. Kinyu, don't blame yourself too much. We will face it together and there will always be a way. Shizun persuaded urgently. Kinyu, you really don't have to worry about it. We stayed here voluntarily. Yes, we are ninjas of Konoha, and we have long ignored life and death. In the eyes of many people, Kinyu's actions were because he forced the entire team to stay, so he felt guilty. Send yourself to death? Kinyu smiled dryly, shook his head and said, Don't worry, I won't be stupid enough to send myself to death. You stay in the barrier, I'm just worried that I will have to rescue you later. I am the captain you elected. This is an order. The small voice was full of undoubted flavor at this moment. Yuzuki-senpai, what should we do? Shizun was anxious. Mao Yukangwu's expression changed continuously. He looked at Kinyu's indifferent face, gritted his teeth and said, I'll retreat into the cave and provide support to Kinyu at any time. Don't forget, he is stronger than me. As soon as these words came out, both Konoha's ninjas and Kumo ninjas couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. However, when he thought about how Kinyu had killed 2 Jonins, Yamaphase and Aburame Tojin, with just his illusion skills, I was feeling uneasy, but I still forced myself to retreat. They just swore secretly in their hearts that if there was any accident, they would come to the rescue with lightning speed. Seeing the Konoha ninjas retreating into the cave in an orderly manner, a Cloud Ninja team leader couldn't help but said, Master AI, do we want to stop them? If they enter the barrier, it may be detrimental to us. What's the disadvantage? It's just a miscellaneous army. What's the point worth paying attention to? I thought the Uchiha clan in the intelligence sent Shunshin Shisui, but I didn't expect it was just an unknown waste. AI snorted disdainfully. According to the intelligence, this stupid young man is just a Chunin. These Konoha ninjas are actually obeying the command of a Chunin. I think they are either stupid or over the top. When the team leader heard this, he quickly smiled and said, Master AI is right. These people are already in our pocket. As long as we break through this barrier, the huge fire country will become our thunder country. The Cloud ninjas in the field all showed happy expressions. Konoha opened 3 major battlefields at the same time, but it was still unable to attack them for a long time, which indeed made the Cloud Ninja village feel threatened. Now it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back, which makes people happy. Are you done? Kinyu suddenly spoke. Now I'll give you 2 choices. First, get out immediately. Second, I'll kill you all. Chapter 7 The ultimate move missed the target. A small voice swept through the entire place like a hurricane at this moment. Arrogant and domineering? Still crazy talk. In the eyes of all the Kumo ninjas, and even the Konoha ninjas, it was undoubtedly the latter. The current situation, whether in terms of numbers or strength, is completely a matter of trying to catch a turtle in a jar. Now Kinyu is talking nonsense, which is simply contempt for their young ninjas. You are indeed an ignorant child. Today we are going to see how you kill us. HMPH, kill him first and let him understand what the gap is. The first thing a Chunin does when he goes to the battlefield is how to judge the gap in strength and learn to survive. Kill him! A Cloud Ninja roared angrily, took out a kunai with his backhand and rushed out first. The team that followed immediately moved. Suddenly, 7 or 8 people rushed towards Kinyu in a galloping manner. Kinyu, be careful. Shizune was anxious. However, the pupils of Mao Yukangwu suddenly shrank next to him. Facing the 7 people who were approaching quickly, Kinyu had no idea of dodging. He flew his hands and formed a series of magic seals with an astonishing speed. Mao Yu, that seems to be your thunder escape and thunder technique, Quan Feng exclaimed. Is he crazy? Trying to use the thunderbolt technique at this time. Mao Yukangwu was anxious and was about to jump out to support. Boom! A low sound of thunder sounded in the sky. Kinyu's hand seals suddenly stopped. Thunder escape, the art of falling thunder. Bang 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 bang. 7 lightning beams suddenly lit up in the sky. The next moment, with extreme speed, he struck down 7 young ninja who appeared more than 10 meters away from Kinyu. The speed and quantity are so fast that no one can react at all. Boom! 7 cloud ninjas were directly enveloped in it. The violent, destructive power overwhelmed the ground and cracked open. Light blue lightning illuminated the entire canyon. The billowing dust and flying gravel made everyone's hearts suddenly tighten. After everything calmed down, the deep pit exploded by the lightning was 7 or 8 meters wide. Every cloud ninja was covered in blood and some even had their limbs broken off. Apparently too dead to die. What kind of ninjutsu is this? This seems to be an A-level thunderbolt. Even some proficient jounin can only drive 3 thunderbolts. How could he, a chunin, kill 7 people in an instant with such precision? This kid is weird, hurry up and disperse, don't let him succeed again. The scene suddenly became a bit chaotic. A moment ago, they didn't take Kinyu seriously at all, thinking that a mere chunin could not pose a threat to them. Now Kinyu took action and killed 7 people instantly. The result was different. However, compared to the Kumo ninja, all the ninjas in Konoha were even more shocked. They knew clearly that Kinyu only started learning Luo Lei 3 days ago. Not only has he now mastered this A-level ninjutsu, he has also completely surpassed the state of proficiency. I am afraid that I have to understand the secret behind it to be able to cast 7 lightning bolts instantly. AI, who was standing on the hill, his eyes flickering, said, "Don't panic. The other party is just an unknown chunin. Maybe he has some talent for lightning escape, and he has understood the secret of this ninjutsu. Sato, you are proficient in the lightning escape technique. Go and bring him back." The cloud ninja who had been standing by Ai's side, wearing a mask, nodded and stepped out. However, his steps soon froze in midair. The blazing waves of air hit you head-on. Kinyu's flying hands suddenly stopped, and the moment the hot chakra spit out, he turned into a fireball 20 or 30 meters away. Crush out of the air. What is going on? Am I dreaming? Is this still a powerful fireball technique? PFFT. The air seemed to be penetrated, and the distance of hundreds of meters was stretched away in the blink of an eye. Everything he passed along the way, whether it was rocks or trees, burned instantly. Sato took a step forward, his face turned pale, and he hurriedly pulled away and retreated. Even AI and Karabi's nerves suddenly became tense, and they subconsciously avoided the sharp edge. The oncoming fireball failed at the critical moment. No, it should be said that the angle was obviously off, soaring straight into the sky at a 45-degree angle. Boom! The fireball, which was tens of meters long, exploded in the void. Flames flew all over the sky, lighting up half of the sky. As the sparks flew away, it was like a wonderful fireworks feast. Everyone present was stunned, especially Yun Ren, who was frightened and ran away. Watching the huge fireball directly crush a deep trench into the ground. There were also trees that were still burning all around, with faces full of confusion and unable to react. Regardless of the thunder escape and thunder technique just now, it's still the current fireball. What a power this is! It's completely a low-level ninjutsu, almost turning it into an S-level ninjutsu. When I think about it, if I were hit head-on by a fireball tens of meters away, my body would probably be completely wiped out. HMPH, you bluffing brat, I thought you had some abilities, but it seems that your chakra is too large, causing the ninjutsu to mutate. AI Lang snorted. Now in this must-win situation, the Kumo ninjas under his command have made fools of themselves in public one after another, so of course they have to save the situation. Looking at Kinyu, whose expression remained unchanged, AI said disdainfully, "It's a pity that blindly pursuing power is your biggest weakness. A ninjutsu that cannot even hit its target, no matter how powerful it is, will be just like the fireworks just now." The turbulent cloud ninja gradually calmed down. Master AI is right, let's not get into trouble. A person who can't even control ninjutsu can't defeat us Kumo ninja. Moreover, he has performed 2 ninjutsu in succession in pursuit of power. There is definitely not much chakra left in his body. I think he can only perform 1 more ninjutsu at most. As long as we take this blow and take him down, there will be no problem at all. The eyes of all the young ninjas lit up, and they looked at Kinyu with a hint of eagerness. It's a pity that the attack just now didn't hit, otherwise the cloud ninja would definitely suffer huge casualties. I didn't expect that Kinyu could hide so deeply and be able to use ordinary ninjutsu to this extent. Ayuki, what should we do now? Kinyu obviously has special talents. In addition to powerful illusions, he can also understand the secrets of thunder and fire ninjutsu so easily. If he is given to the 3rd Hokage to train himself, we in Konoha will definitely appear in the future. A more powerful being. All the Konoha ninjas were all talking. Regarding those last words, even Mao Kangwoo's heart was touched. After experiencing the tug-of-war on the 3-party battlefield, he knew very well that a talented combat power could have a huge impact on a battle situation. For example, the golden shining wave Fang Minato is the best example. If Uchiha Kinyu can grow to this point, it will be powerful new blood for Konoha. Chapter 8 Kill Everyone in Seconds. Chaotic thoughts flashed through Mao Kangwoo's mind. He looked at Kinyu, who still had a calm face, and said with a stagnant expression, "I feel that Kinyu may not be that simple." The attack clearly missed. Why can you still be so calm? Mao Kangwoo said while looking towards the sky. The sight he saw almost made his eyes pop open. With the canyon as the center, there seems to be an invisible big hand rapidly rolling up the accumulated thunderclouds in the sky. Like a huge funnel. A series of ferocious thunder snakes were swimming in the clouds, looking more and more ferocious. The depressing atmosphere that gradually filled the air gave people the feeling that a storm was about to come. He vaguely guessed that Kinyu might have already learned how to land thunder and was hiding in the basin for this attack, cannot say. Mao Kangwoo clenched his fists. He knew that the power of this blow would be astonishing. Otherwise, Kinyu wouldn't have spent so much effort. Feeling his heart beating loudly, Mao Kangwoo's nerves almost broke due to nervousness. Why, Kinyu could still stand outside as if nothing had happened. What a terrifying state of mind. "Boy, are you out of skills?" AI sneered. "Is it because you don't have enough chakra? If that doesn't work, then it's our turn." Looking at Kinyu, who was still indifferent, Ai's face darkened and he shouted sternly, "Come on, spread out and surround him. I don't believe he can make any big waves kill him." Dozens of cloud ninjas instantly burst into violence. The thunder escape and the powerful fireball just now made them lose face. Now that Kinyu's chakra is insufficient, this is a good opportunity to beat the drowned dog. 300 meters, 200 meters, 10, 30, 50, 70. Kinyu silently calculated all this, feeling the changes in the nature of chakra in his body and resonating with the thunder clouds in the sky. The backlog of thunder power made even Kinyu feel his heart tremble. "You prankster, go to hell." A cloud ninja arrived first. However, It should be said that dozens of famous cloud ninjas came from all directions, and each of them seemed to be staring at the fat in the basin. Thunder escape thunder spear. Thunder escape earth walk. Thunder escape thrust. Continuous roars echoed crazily throughout the world. The dazzling thunder light turned into various attacks and stabbed Kinyu head-on. Looking at Kinyu, who seemed completely unaware, Jingyan could not hold back her breath and stepped out hurriedly. "We're here. Everyone should support the barrier with all their strength, otherwise we will all die." Mao Yukang was shouted violently. Everyone couldn't help but be confused. The next moment, Kinyu, who was in the middle of the attack, was filled with lightning and disappeared out of thin air like a ghost. It's the lightning escape technique. Anyone with sharp eyes can see through it instantly. Ai's expression tightened, and he hurriedly raised his head to look at the top of the hill not far away. The scene that came into view shocked the nerves. "Oh my God, if there is a problem today, run away immediately." Ai roared anxiously. In the clouds, he felt a feeling that frightened even him. At this moment, he finally understood why Kinyu stood there blankly without any reaction. "This is a game. You can't escape. My chakra is indeed not enough. To kill you all in an instant, I need a large range, strong destructive power, and a speed that makes people unable to evade, so I thought of borrowing the power of thunder." Kinyu stood on the mountain above the top. The lightning lurking all over his body was completely unhidden at this moment. The thunder clouds accumulated like a whirlpool, and the thunder light emerged, and a huge thunder unicorn squeezed out from under it. "Goodbye, cutely stupid Kumonin." After finishing his words, Kinyu moved. The right hand suddenly pressed down, and the sky was filled with accumulated thunder, and the transformed Qilin let out a roar looking up to the sky. Thunder tore apart the heaven and earth, and lightning occupied the pupils. Boom! The Kirin swooped down so fast that the cloud ninjas could not recover. Boom! The lightning burst forth with such power that it could rival the tailed beast Jade. The entire canyon was instantly flooded by lightning, and trees and rocks were directly crushed. The lightning that shot up into the sky directly penetrated the accumulated clouds. It was several minutes before everything recovered. The huge canyon became a mess. No, it should be said that everything in front of us no longer has the shadow of the canyon. It is completely flat and scorched red earth. The so-called trees and rocks have disappeared, and some hills have been flattened. As for the so-called cloud ninja, even the bones are gone. Some were lucky enough to be able to use defensive measures in time, and perhaps even save an arm or a leg. The huge battlefield looked like a mess. Am I dreaming? If we didn't have this cave, we would probably be dead. Are you blind? There is a cave here. If Senior Oyu hadn't discovered the clues in advance and asked us to frantically strengthen the barrier, I'm afraid we would have died. Even the barrier that was able to resist the attack of the Kumo ninja for 2 days was directly breached. The thunder escape just now was the most terrifying and powerful forbidden technique I have ever seen in my life. All the Konoha ninjas looked like they were surviving the disaster. They knew very well that this attack was meant to deal with Kumo ninja. However, having witnessed that shocking scene with my own eyes, I was still frightened in my heart, especially when I saw that the backs of those cloud ninjas who were directly blasted to pieces were soaked with cold sweat. You bastard, you dare to set up a trap to kill my men." Ai and Kurabi rushed out of the ruins. He was a little embarrassed, but he didn't suffer much damage. Some Kumo ninja who were close to them did not participate in the encirclement and suppression, so they were rescued in time. However, including Ai and Kurabi, there were only 7 people. This is a huge gap compared to the majestic appearance when he arrived. If you haven't seen it with your own eyes, who would want to believe it, given the huge gap in numbers? In the team led by the AB combination, Kumo ninja will also be killed by a Chunin, killing hundreds of elites instantly. People will always kill murderers. Aren't they worthy of death? Kinyu said with a smile. Seeing this warm smile, no matter it was the Kumo ninja, even the soles of the Konoha ninja's feet felt cold. Okay, very good. AI said hello twice with a gloomy face and shouted sternly, I will fall into the trap once, and I will never fall into the trap the second time. You have used 3 such powerful ninjutsu. Your chakra is amazing, and you will definitely not be able to hold on for long. Today I want to see what else you can do to defeat me. As long as you, this kid, fall into my hands, I will definitely crush your bones and let you know how powerful Kumo Ninja is and how his majesty cannot be violated. Chapter 9: The Unbreakable Defense. The awe-inspiring words echoed above the ruins. Seeing Kinyu kill hundreds of people in one move, Mao Yukeimu and others really felt hopeful. However, when I thought that the AB combination among the Cloud Ninjas, which had already become famous in the ninja world, was still watching with eager eyes, my nerves were tightened again. Yuzuki-senpai, do we want to help? Shizune was anxious. Mao Yukeimu looked at Kinyu and said, Kinyu, we are here to help you. No need. Kinyu smiled warmly and said, you guys can come together. I also want to know how strong I am. Haha, you kid, you are really arrogant. I think you are a strong person, yet you dare to say such shameless words. AI laughed unscrupulously, and soon his face was covered with haze. I'm going to make your life worse than death. Boom. AI stepped heavily, and the thunder escaped chakra dormant in his body surged out like a frenzy. As soon as he takes action, it's ninja technique. Thunder escape chakra mode. If Namikaze Minato is golden lightning, then AI is blue lightning. The moment his footsteps fell and the ground cracked, AI had already crossed 100 meters and appeared in front of Kinyu. The speed was so fast that the pupils of Mao Yukeimu and others suddenly shrank. In their eyes, Kinyu didn't move at all. He still stood there, watching everything quietly. He seemed to be petrified by the scene in front of him. Boy, you can't even keep up with my speed, and you dare to be so presumptuous. Go to hell. AI smiled ferociously, clenched his fingers suddenly, and thunder burst out. There was no hint of fancy, just a heavy blow. Thunder fist. Boom! The air was instantly penetrated, and the huge fist chased Kinyu's cheek. Seeing Kinyu, who still had no reaction at all, the remaining Yunren could not help but laugh. At this moment, they seemed to have seen the scene of Kinyu being killed. Boom! A dull thunderous collision suddenly sounded. The unparalleled thunder fist landed outside Kinyu Maizu with an attitude as heavy as a 10,000 gun. It was like hitting an invisible iron wall and was blocked instantly. Thunder light and scarlet air waves swept down, creating a huge impact. Ai's expression suddenly changed, as if he had hit an iron plate. Seeing Kinyu's eyes instantly swallowed by blood and the 9 Magatama spinning crazily, AI almost burst his eyes open. Ribs composed of scarlet chakra stood in front of Kinyu. What is this? Isn't this the monster that appeared in the illusion? It's the Sharingan. No, this pattern is completely different from the Uchiha clan's single Magatama, double Magatama, and triple Magatama Sharingan. What on earth is it? Seeing Kinyu's whole aura change, the aura full of disaster filled the air, and there was an inexplicable depression in his heart. 9 Magatama Kaleidoscope Sharingan. Kinyu's chakra is not much, but his pupil power is basically zero loss. Faced with the Thunder Chakra mode, which is known for its speed and power, Susanoo is the best way to deal with it. It's my turn, Kinyu suddenly said. The moment the 9 Magatama Sharingan turned crazily, the scarlet eye power filled with the smell of disaster swept away like a frenzy. A huge wave of energy burst out with Kinyu as the center. Phew! A scarlet skeleton arm suddenly popped out from the ribs, looking very penetrating. Without any hint of fancy, he swatted at AI like lightning. Be careful, Kurabi shouted urgently. AI sensed the danger, and the lightning on his body suddenly surged to the extreme. Without any hint of fancy, he stepped hard on the ground and retreated straight back. Boom! The ground was shattered in an instant and the rocks exploded. Another arm chased AI straight away. The violent scene made everyone feel caught off guard. Looking behind Kinyu, Susanoo quickly condensed and was 12 to 13 meters tall, with his whole body beating like a flame. His face was even more horrified. Bang, bang, bang. The two arms took turns to smash down, and the fierce wind blew up. AI, who was surrounded by lightning, quickly dodged under the attack, looking extremely embarrassed. "Haha, can you only hide?" Kinyu said with a faint smile. It has to be said that in the world of Naruto, there are very few people who can use chakra to this extent. Ninja taijutsu. In addition to having the ability to accurately control chakra attribute changes, you also need a body as strong as a beast to be able to withstand the thunder chakra mode. Even in the huge cloud ninja village, there are only a few strong people who can learn it. This really made Kinyu think about it. For outsiders, the thunder chakra mode may be difficult to learn. But for Kinyu, who has a one-click max level system, it doesn't pose much of a challenge. The difficulty lies in how to get the thunder chakra mode in Ai's hands. Arrogant boy, don't think you can be invincible just by hiding in a turtle shell. Ai's voice came suddenly. A figure wrapped in blue lightning appeared in the sky above Susanoo instantly. Heavy flow. AI roared angrily, and the lightning in his right hand surged instantly, like a battle axe, and hit Susanoo's head. I saw. Kinyu's eyes suddenly turned. He had maxed out the main Jikayo Sharingan with one click. But it is still the first time to use it, and it will take some time to really use it freely. However, Ai's speed was astonishingly fast, but Kinyu was still able to see through it. If he used his body to fight back, he might not be able to keep up with AI in Thunder Chakra mode, but with a thought, Susanoo took action instantly. The huge palm suddenly reached forward, the roaring sound was heard, and it directly collided with Ai's ribs. Boom. A thunderous explosion suddenly came out, and lightning burst out, as bright as fireworks all over the sky. A figure flew upside down and landed 10 meters away. It's Master AI. He used heavy flow storms, but he was still at a disadvantage. Oh my god, that monster doesn't even have a crack. AI turned over and fell to the ground, cracking the ground with his step, and there was a slight stinging pain in his right hand. Looking at Susanoo, who had at best lost some of his strength, Ai's face turned pale. This gave him an illusion that he couldn't break through. I told you a long time ago that you and your AB team will play together. Otherwise you have no chance of winning, Kinyu said with a faint smile. In the original work, Uchiha Madara's Susanoo was difficult to defeat even with a 5 Kage's combined forces. The current Kinyu may not be as good as Uchiha Madara in terms of energy, but Susanoo's defense power is also not small when the full-level main Jikayo Sharingan is used. HMPH, arrogant boy, your tortoise shell is indeed very strong, but you can't keep up with me in terms of speed, so you are destined to lose. AI shouted coldly, I'll see how long you can hold on. Whoosh! The sound of breaking through the air suddenly sounded, and Ai's figure swayed and appeared in front of Susanoo again like a ghost. Chapter 10 The Unquenchable Flame. Thunder level. The right hand instantly turned into a hand knife, and violent lightning burst out, erupting into a fierce posture, and even the air was distorted. Break it for me. AI roared again and again. The sword in his hand could not cover his ears, and fell on Susanoo. Bang, bang, bang. The blue lightnings shot down crazily, making people feel dizzy. In just a few seconds, the two of them fought 12 or 3 times. However, Susanoo remained indestructible in the face of Ai's unparalleled offensive crazy. Seeing this scene, the cloud ninjas present turned pale. Even AI, who is said to have unparalleled attack and speed, can't break through this defense, so who else can do it? After playing for so long, it's time for me to attack. Kinyu smiled lightly and looked at AI, who had just regained his footing. Ai's expression was extremely gloomy, thunder crackled all over his body, and he shouted sternly, I can't break through your defense for the time being, but you can't keep up with my speed either. Let's see who can hold on longer, who will be the winner. So you were thinking about this problem? A trace of amusement appeared on Kinyu's face, and he said, "Unfortunately, you are thinking wrongly." Amaterasu. The 9 Megatama Sharingan suddenly turned, and an inexplicable death energy spread rapidly in Ai's heart. "Brother, be careful." Kurabi drank violently. A huge octopus tentacle instantly enveloped Ai. Before he could react, dark flames suddenly burst into flames. The black flames were like a tide, carrying an inexplicable heat, causing the temperature of the ruins to suddenly rise. The most unimaginable thing is that the black flames spread very quickly, taking up most of the hundreds of meters of octopus arms in the blink of an eye. This fire escape? Hurry up and use water to escape the fire. Water release water dragon bullet. A cloud ninja who was proficient in water escape quickly formed a magic seal with his hands, and the water element floating between the sky and the earth was instantly mobilized. As the water dragon condensed, it rushed towards the black flame in the next moment. Boom! The water dragon instantly shattered, and the black flames grew stronger as the water vapor steamed. The strange scene made everyone's expressions change. This is an unquenchable flame," Yun Ninja exclaimed. "Ouch!" The 8-tailed bull demon let out a roar that reached the sky, and violent chakra burst out of his body and shot straight up to the 9 heavens. The violent scene made Kinyu also show a hint of envy. Tailed beasts are indeed different. This is squandered capital. Sayoba, don't be impulsive. Kurabi's face changed slightly. Unfortunately, before he could react, Kinyu's 9 Magatama Sharingan suddenly turned. Tsukuyomi. Kurabi instantly felt that the world was spinning. The entire sky was occupied by blood, and the Scarlet 9 Magatama Sharingan quickly appeared in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 100. The densely packed posture makes people feel like their scalp is numb. However, no matter how much Kurabi struggled, he was unable to move at all while on the cross. The figures emerging all around include a familiar face. "It's me." Kurabi's expression changed drastically. Unfortunately, before he could react, the countless approaching figures stabbed him directly with the scarlet blades in their hands. "Ah!" The screams echoed between heaven and earth, looking very sad. This seemingly cumbersome scene is just a blink of an eye to the outside world. Looking at Kurabi, who suddenly looked dull, Ai's face couldn't help but change as he appeared in an instant. "This is an illusion. Master Ai, hurry up and cut off the tentacles of the 8 tails. Otherwise, if this continues, the black flames will engulf Master Kurabi," a cloud ninja reminded urgently. Ai didn't have time to think too much. Lightning bloomed in his right hand, turned into a hand knife, and struck directly on the tentacle. Phew! A large green liquid rose into the sky, and when the tentacles fell to the ground, they were quickly swallowed up by the black flames. Seeing the black flames that even burned the ground, whether it was the Kumo ninja or the ninjas of Konoha, their spines felt a little chilly. Illusion solution. Ai didn't think too much, quickly formed seals with his hands, and roared sternly. However, after trying 7 or 8 methods to remove the illusion one after another, Kurabi, who fell into Tsukuyomi, remained indifferent. "Master Ai, what is going on?" In Konoha, the Kurama clan and the Uchiha clan are proficient in genjutsu, but we have tried so many methods to break it but can't solve it. What should we do? The scene suddenly became chaotic, and the remaining 5 Yunrin decided to quit. With one kill-in move, hundreds of elites were instantly killed. I thought that with the AB combination, I could recover the disadvantage, defeat Kinyu in one fell swoop, and win. However, the successive measures refreshed their understanding. How to break the deadlock in the face of such an unsolvable opponent. Now we can only forcefully break the illusion. The first is to kill the caster, and the second is to use more powerful chakra to impact the body. Ai's face was extremely gloomy. However, after seeing Kinyu wearing an indestructible turtle shell, AI gave up his first choice in an instant. As for the second option, facing Kurabi, who is the eight-tailed Jinchuriki, AI Zoan competes for Chakra. This is completely impossible. What's wrong? Can't you make a decision? Kinyu smiled warmly. The method is very simple. As long as you stay away from me, the caster, this illusion will be lifted soon. Tsukuyomi is one of the strongest genjutsus ever seen in Naruto. But the duration of the illusion is related to the pupil power of the caster. Kakashi was able to escape that day because of Uchiha Itachi's lack of eye power. However, after the incident, Kakashi was still in a coma for 7 or 8 days before he recovered. When I think of that scene afterwards, I still feel frightened. Of course, I won't let you escape so easily. The smile on Kinyu's face deepened. Ai's cheeks twitched and said, "Boy, don't be too arrogant. I have seen through all your methods. I can't break your defense, but you can't kill me either." You are right. Kinyu did not deny it and said with a smile, "So, I want to make a deal with you. As long as you teach me how to practice the Thunder Chakra mode, I can dispel the illusion. I forgot to tell you, in this illusion world, days and nights may have passed in 1 second. As soon as these words came out, everyone's expressions changed. No matter whether it was Konoha or Kumo Ninja, even AI did not expect that what Kinyu was planning was actually the Thunder Release Chakra mode on his body. Master AI, you must not hand over this technique. This is the secret technique of our Cloud Ninja village. If people from Konoha get it, it will be a huge threat to our Cloud Ninja village. Master AI, please think carefully. We Cloud Ninjas are unyielding in every battle, and we are not afraid even of death. Chapter 11 Fight again after becoming Hokage. No, compared with Kurabi, this mere secret technique is not worth mentioning at all. AI took out a scroll with his backhand and threw it directly. Moreover, not everyone can learn the secret technique. If you are not careful, you will lose control of Chakra and explode to death. Having said this, AI looked at Kinyu and said, "You don't mind me saying this." Kinyu didn't expect that AI would carry the scroll with him. He didn't take a second look after taking it, and said with a warm smile, "Thank you for the reminder. I hope you won't be surprised next time we meet. Let me remove the illusion first." As soon as he finished speaking, Kinyu's 9 Megatama Sharingan suddenly stopped. The A-Tails, who had been trapped in an illusion, let out a roar. I broke through. Damn boy, I'm going to kill you. Kulabi, why are you unconscious? I still want to fight. The moment the illusion was released, Kurabi just had time to open his eyes slightly before he passed out. Kinyu was not surprised by this scene. In fact, as long as it is delayed a little longer, the eight-tailed Chuuki will break through Tsukuyomi, and Kurabi will be out of trouble. After all, Kinyu instantly opened Susanoo, Amaterasu, and Tsukuyomi. He also had to maintain Susanoo at all times, which consumed a lot of his eye power. Moreover, Tsukuyomi still mainly affects Kurabi. Boy, will Kurabi be okay? AI tried several methods, but failed to wake up Kurabi. This is severe loss of consciousness. If Kurabi hadn't completely integrated with the eight tails, the tailed beasts would have rioted the moment Kurabi lost consciousness. It's just mental exhaustion. You can recover after a period of rest. Kinyu raised the scroll in his hand and said, "Thank you, you can go." Kinyu, this is a good opportunity. Quan Feng was anxious, but was interrupted by Mao Yukangwu's eyes. AI sneered disdainfully and said, "A bunch of cowards. If it weren't for another genius from the Uchiha clan, you would have been killed by me long ago. Damn Anbu, they didn't even collect such important information." In Ai's eyes, if they had known about Uchiha Kinyu, they would never have suffered such serious losses. However, you kid, if you can't stay in Konoha, you can come to Yun Ninja Village to find me. I welcome you at any time. AI took out a scroll and threw it out again, saying, "This is an intelligence scroll that betrays you. I hope you can return to Konoha safely. By the way, they all say that the person in Konoha who has the best chance of becoming the fourth Hokage is Minato Namikaze, but I think you are equally qualified, Bloody Asura. After leaving these words, AI supported Kurabi and turned around and left. Next time we meet, I hope we will duel as Shadow, and I will punch through your turtle shell. As AI left, the remaining 5 Kumo ninjas felt unwilling to do so. Still kept up quickly. For a time, the huge ruins became empty. We won. We actually blocked the large army of Kumo ninja and the AB combination. TCH, what are you talking about? It was Kinyu who killed them instantly and defeated the AB combination. It was Kinyu's credit alone. I didn't expect that in the Uchiha clan, in addition to Shunshin Shisui, there would also be a genius like Kinyu. That Kirin move just now made my hair stand on end. The Konoha ninjas in the cave were instantly overjoyed, with smiles on their faces as if they had survived the disaster. Facing the attack of Yun Ninja, they had already despaired, especially after they knew that Shinfeng and Abiram had betrayed each other. In their eyes, this was a fatal situation. However, the results in front of them subverted their cognition. When I think of that Qilin move that killed hundreds of people instantly, the Unbreakable Susanoo, dark as ink, black flames that cannot be extinguished. There are also extremely powerful illusions. All of this is completely beyond the definition of Jounin. Judging from I's statement, Kinyu has now reached the shadow level candidate, commonly known as the Penumbra. Did you hear just now that AI actually made an agreement with Kinyu to become the best actress before fighting, and even gave him a nickname, Bloody Arrow? It's Bloody Asura, you idiot. Call. Looking at all the Konoha ninjas talking about it, Kinyu breathed a sigh of relief. The moment the 9 Megatama Sharingan dispersed, the Susanoo on his body also disappeared out of thin air. Kinyu, are you injured? I'll treat you right away. Jingyan rushed over quickly, with a hint of anxiety on her pretty face. Silly girl, he can't even break through his defense, how could I get hurt? Kinyu smiled and scratched Shizyun's nose. The lover is eager, Kinyu, you can't blame Jingyan. Oyukemu also walked over with a smile, but there was more of a sigh on his face. Good boy, I didn't expect you to hide so deeply. Thanks to you this time, we will be saved. As for other matters, we will definitely support you after returning to Konoha. In Konoha, the status of the Uchiha clan is very embarrassing. He has been trapped in the undercurrent of power between the Anbu, the Roots, and the Guard. From Mao Yukangwu's understanding, Kinyu, as a genius, had been holding back all this time just to avoid these troublesome whirlpools. Of course, Kinyu would not point it out to Mao Yukangwu, who was always making excuses for himself as soon as he appeared on the stage. After taking a look at Shizyun, whose face was blushing, Kinyu opened another scroll. Their defenses and the specific location of the secret sentry were clearly displayed on it. Damn it, our defenses and secret sentries are changing every day. Only Shinfen and Abiram Takshin know how to describe it so clearly. In Yubong and his group also walked over quickly. Seeing the information on the scroll, their faces turned pale. If Kinyu hadn't taken action this time, I'm afraid we would have died. When we return to Konoha, we must report this matter to Lord Hokage, otherwise how can we convince the public? Gen's people are really hateful, so what if Danzo is here? Kinyu, don't worry, we will definitely support you. Looking at the raging crowd of Konoha ninjas, Kinyu didn't say much. In this world, the strong is king and the weak are just dolls of the strong. Now in Konoha, Danzo does have a certain status and can make waves. However, Kinyu has a one-click max level system, as long as he is given time. It will grow quickly. Kinyu doesn't even take Uchiha Madara, one of the bosses behind the scenes, seriously, and is still afraid of a mere Danzo. Once he gets into trouble, he doesn't mind a few more lives on his hands. Okay, Kinyu is tired too. Let him rest first. Shizyun, you can also go and see if Kinyu needs help. Mao Yukang stopped the others. Issues involving the top management of Konoha and the Uchiha clan still cannot be commented casually. At least, they couldn't make a casual conclusion before Kinyu opened his mouth. Otherwise, making Kinyu unhappy is not what Mao Yukemu wants to see. Chapter 12 Thunder Chakra Mode. Watching Kinyu leave, the scene became heated again. Oyuki, those eyes just now were so hard to look at. In Yufeng couldn't help but move closer. The powerful thunder release ninjutsu, the super powerful eye technique and illusion technique are simply unattainable. AI, the next successor to the Raikage in the Cloud Ninja Village, also claimed that Kinyu has the qualifications to succeed the Hokage. Who do you think is more confident compared to him or Minato Namikaze? As soon as these words came out, everyone was attracted instantly. Mao Yukemu's expression changed slightly. Looking at the curious faces, he sighed helplessly. The current situation is not as simple as you think. Yamaphase and Aburame took their routes and fled back to Konoha. With Danzo's hostility towards the Uchiha clan, he will definitely protect the two of them. If Danzo knew that we were not dead, he would probably kill us. The joy on the faces of Quan Feng and others suddenly stiffened. Mao Yu, have you thought the situation too badly? What should we do now? Do we need to remind Kinyu? Quan Feng said anxiously. Mao Yukemu shook his head and said, Qin Feng, do you think a person who hides it so deeply would not know about such a thing? Based on my inference, Kinyu probably already has a countermeasure. Everyone present fell silent and couldn't help but look at each other. Thinking back to the battle just now, it is still vivid in my mind. With such great strength, he has been dormant in Konoha for so long. I'm afraid what you are planning is definitely not small. However, if the Kumo ninja can be repelled this time, Kinyu has the greatest credit. Once the message is sent back, Konoha's top brass will definitely not sit idly by. Then Kinyu is also amazing. Not only was he able to defeat the AB combination, he was also able to blackmail Yun Ninja Village Ninja Taijutsu by plucking his feathers. If this Thunder Escape Chakra model is handed over to Konoha, it will be a big achievement. Everyone in the field was in a hurry again. After all, this battle was too shocking. You said that Kinyu is proficient in the Thunder Release Ninjutsu. Will he try to learn the Thunder Release Chakra mode? Quan Feng said without warning. Everyone's nerves suddenly became tense, and Mao Yukemu's face froze as he said, maybe it's really possible. However, I still don't believe that he understood the secret of thunder in 3 days and developed a thunder release unicorn that is enough to rank as an S-level ninjutsu. Yu, are you saying this because you have lost face? Inufeng teased, why don't we take a gamble? Okay, if Kinyu can really do it, I will marry my precious daughter to Kinyu. Mao Yukengwu said, patting his chest. Tusk, Mao Yu, does this count as a bet? You are just looking for an excuse to send your daughter to Kinyu's arms. Counting me in, I also want to bet. If Kinyu really learns it, I will let Kinyu choose between the 2 daughters in the family. Old man Mu, you are so big-hearted. How can your 2 daughters, one 30 years old and the other as tall as a giant bear, be put on the table? If Kinyu really takes a fancy to them, he is blind. Bastard, what are you talking about? I'm going to fight you. If you lose, you'll have with my daughter. In the cave, Kinyu had no idea that he already had dozens of future father-in-laws. As he walked, he stared at the scroll recording the Thunder Chakra pattern. Kinyu, are you really not injured? Jian said again with a red face. Kinyu rolled his eyes helplessly and said, You have repeated this question 10 times. If you don't believe it, why don't I take off my clothes and show you? As he spoke, Kinyu made a gesture to unbutton his body. Kinyu, you are acting like a hooligan. Jian's cheeks turned even redder. She glared at him, then turned and left. After watching her leave, Kinyu was free. He has now consumed a lot of chakra and eye energy. In other words, his body has been exhausted. I simply don't have the energy or the urge to do anything like that. I found a good corner, sat down cross-legged, and began to try to practice the thunder escape chakra mode. In the previous battle, Kinyu had already used the Manjikayu Sharingan to secretly check the moment AI entered the mode state. Now, after comparing the explanations recorded on the scroll one by one, I found that there are no mistakes. It seems that AI never thought that he would have a Waterloo. There was no tampering with the secret scroll. After reading it again and again, Kinyu put away the scroll and entered a state of meditation to slightly restore the chakra in his body. A short while later, Kinyu opened his eyes and the sky outside began to darken. After a battle during the day, it was obvious that all Konoha ninjas were performing their duties. Some people were even reassigned to station at various hidden outposts. Therefore, Kinyu was still the only one in the huge cave. The chakra in the body has recovered to a certain extent, and I finally understand the pain of Hadake's 55th opening and lack of blue. Kinyu sighed helplessly. Using 3 ultimate moves will consume 2/3 of the chakra. If there is a protracted battle, he will be disarmed in the middle. That's a nightmare. Forget it. We'll think about increasing chakra later. Now let's learn the Thunder Chakra mode. Kinyu put aside his thoughts. His eyes slowly closed and all the explanations on the scroll appeared in his mind. After a full 3 or 4 seconds, Kinyu suddenly opened his eyes, quickly flew his hands, and formed a series of magic seals. Under the roar of chakra in the body, wisps of electric arcs emerged on the surface of the body. The next moment, all the information copied from Ai's body by the Manjikayo Sharingan flashed in Kinyu's mind, and the magic seal in his hand changed in vain. The properties of chakra, which was originally as steady as a trickle, changed instantly, and like a galloping horse, a low roar came from Kinyu's body. Countless violent blue arcs shot out of Kinyu's body, illuminating half of the cave. However, as soon as the lightning arc emerged, it dissipated across the sky and earth in an instant. The changes in chakra properties in the body dissipated directly and returned to normal. A trace of joy flashed across Kinyu's face, and he said to himself, "Fortunately, the chakra changes were cut off in time. Otherwise, the attribute changes that agitated at that moment would have caused me to explode and die in the blink of an eye. No wonder that guy handed this secret scroll to me so easily." Ding dong, I found out that the host has learned the Thunder Escape Chakra mode and can it be fully leveled with 1 click. Maximum level immediately. After trying it, Kinyu also gave up on self-study. If he didn't use the system, that would be self-abuse. Congratulations to the host, the Thunder Chakra mode has reached the full level. As the system prompts dissipated, Kinyu took a deep breath, thought again, and the properties of chakra in his body changed again. With a crackling sound, blue lightning arcs splashed out on Kinyu's body. In an instant, under the stimulation of this lightning arc, Kinyu felt that his cells and body were quickly activated. Chapter 13 Konoha Reinforcements. It feels really weird. A hint of joy flashed across Kinyu's face. Originally, even if a person is used to his own weight, sometimes he will feel like he is carrying a heavy weight. However, now that Kinyu is using the Thunder Chakra mode, his entire body is as light as a feather. However, the chakra consumption in the body is also not slow. With Kinyu's current amount of chakra, he can sustain it for at most 20 minutes. If any more ninjutsu is used, the time supported by the Thunder Chakra mode will probably be further shortened. I am afraid that it is for this reason that AI developed nintai techniques to reduce his own chakra loss. Try the speed first. Kinyu took a step forward. There was a pop on the spot, and except for the remaining trace of lightning arc jumping, the whole person shot straight out of the cave like blue lightning. The Konoha ninja stationed not far outside the cave was startled at first, and then couldn't help but rub his eyes. "What's wrong with you?" Quan Feng and Mao Yukang walked over slowly. We seemed to have seen a flash of blue light just now. But before I could see clearly, it disappeared out of thin air. Blue light? Inyufeng and Oyukang were startled at first, and then asked urgently, "Does that feel the same as I's thunder escape chakra mode?" "Senior Oyu, when you say this, I feel a bit similar." "Senior Oyuki, are you saying that the Kumo ninja left and came back to take revenge?" A trace of nervousness flashed across the faces of the two slightly younger Chunin. Not long after the battle, they had Kinyu as their backbone. But Yun Ninja suffered a big loss last time, and I'm afraid he won't fall for it again this time. No, I would rather Yun Ren came back to cause trouble than believe the speculation in his heart. Oyu Kangwu and Inyufeng couldn't help but look at each other. The two of them obviously wanted to go to the same place. Go and see the cave. Is Kinyu still inside? As soon as these words came out, the two slightly younger Konoha ninjas were completely enlightened. If the lightning just now was exactly the same as the thunder chakra mode, the person who used this secret technique was not Raikage's heir AI, but it was probably Uchiha Kinyu. It is only half a day before the battle is over and the scroll recording the thunder chakra pattern is obtained. If Kinyu really learned the secret technique, what else can be used to describe it? Genius, evildoer, monster, or the god of ninjutsu? Kinyu, who was thousands of meters away, had no idea that his actions would bring such a big shock to them. In the Thunder Chakra mode, his speed has completely reached the subsonic level, covering hundreds of meters in the blink of an eye. Moreover, under the activation of cells, Kinyu's nerve response, attack power, and 5 senses were greatly improved. Even the chirping of insects hundreds of meters away can be heard clearly. "Stop it, we ninjas of Konoha." An urgent cry came. Kinyu instantly locked onto the source of the sound. Although he did not have abnormal perception ninjutsu, Kinyu could still identify the approximate number of people through the sound. 7 people surrounding 2 people is interesting. Kinyu pursed his lips and couldn't help but smile. With a flash of his body, he decided to go see what happened to the Konoha ninja. In the forest, there is a clearing. 2 thin figures stood back to back looking at the surrounding ninjas, who were all looking at each other and wearing various ferocious animal masks. "We are Konoha ninjas, this is proof of identity." A pale boy, only 12 or 13 years old, couldn't help but say. Behind him was a girl with purple hair and a delicate and bright face. Judging from the ID cards they wore, these two were newly promoted Chunin. Of course, this Chunin weight was placed in the peaceful era in the original work. Only by passing the Chunin examination and the evaluation of daimyo from various countries could one be able to join this rank. Unfortunately, during the Third Ninja War, most Chunin were promoted by force. First, opening up 3 major battlefields at the same time has already squandered all the backbone of Konoha. Second, a protracted war involves attrition of personnel. With Konoha's limited combat power, it simply cannot last long. Third, the purpose of being forcibly promoted to Chunin is to confuse the enemy. When it comes to real calculations, it is also a case of being strong on the outside but weak on the inside. According to Kinyu's understanding in his memory, this method of endurance assessment is used. You only need to complete a B-level mission in your team and come back alive to apply to become a Chunin. Kinyu clearly remembered that during the Third Ninja War, Abido was defeated by a crane without even opening his Sharingan. You can then be promoted to Chunin, with Kakashi as your captain, to perform special missions. This is enough to prove how wet the Chunin is. Zai-yan, you must be careful when you stand behind me. This place is not far from the pass station. These Ambu just misunderstood our identities and are the enemy pretending to be. As long as I explain clearly, it will be fine. Moonlight Hate Ninja, he kept explaining. A trace of nervousness appeared on Mao Yuzian's face. This is the first time she has officially set foot on the battlefield after graduating from the Ninja Academy. Until now, she had only taken on some small tasks, such as finding cats and dogs, guarding the Konoha ninja village, and other relatively simple tasks. At the same time, participate in some harmless battles to gain some experience. 3 days ago, she was suddenly promoted to Chunin. Mao Yuzian knew clearly that this was the reason for the emergency on the front line. This resulted in the urgent deployment of combat forces in the rear of Konoha for support. Originally, Mao Yuzian was still thinking about how to avoid going to the battlefield. Unfortunately, upon hearing this, Kumo Ninja launched a sneak attack, and her father Atsuki Kangwoo happened to join the battle. In order to urgently send the Golden Flash, Namikaze Minato's flying thunder god Kunai to the battlefield, so he personally requested the battle. As for Moonlight Gale, it was because of the strange feeling in his heart that he couldn't help but accept this task. After 3 days of continuous traveling, we were not far from the pass. I thought I could arrive smoothly, but I didn't expect to be stopped by Konoha's Anbu at such a critical moment. Seniors, I am Konoha's newest Chunin, Moonlight Hayate, and my father is one of Konoha's 8 colors, Moonlight Kyoryuru. This is my family's token. Moonlight Hayate quickly moved out his patron. Unlike Uzuki Sangmu, Moonlight Hayate's father, Moonlight Kyoryuru, is one of the 8 colors of Konoha. In one hand, Konoha-style 3 sun and moon sword technique, combined with blood succession limit penetrating escape. On the battlefield, he is a feared assassin. Looking at the whole of Konoha, the strength is also outstanding among Jounin. According to Moonlight Hayate's plan, all he needed to do now was to find out his identity and move his father out. These Anbu ninjas were amazed. He will also let them go obediently. If you are not careful, you may escort them to the stronghold. Chapter 14 The Prodigal Son. Kill them. The leading Anbu ninja suddenly spoke. Moonlight Hayate's smile froze instantly. Even Uezuki Zien, who was standing behind him, was no exception. Whoosh! The sound of breaking through the air suddenly sounded, and the 2 root ninjas moved instantly. With a flash of body, he appeared directly in front of Moonlight Gale. In their eyes, it was just a piece of cake to deal with 2 mere Chunins with huge water content. The violent scene made Moonlight Gale's expression stiffen. Looking at the 2 daggers that were rapidly enlarging in his pupils, he made a fatal mistake on the battlefield. Lost my mind. A smile flashed deep in the eyes of the 2 root ninjas who took action. Half a day ago, they were stationed dozens of miles away in a secret stronghold belonging to the root. After receiving the order from Shenfeng and Aburame to kill all the Konoha ninjas, they rushed over. Before they reached the pass stronghold, they met 2 rookies. They don't let go of the fun when it comes to bullying newbies. Konoha-style swordsmanship 3 suns, Moonshadow Dance Slash. A crisp scream sounded, and a pretty figure suddenly flashed out and attacked from behind Moonlight Gale. The ninja sword in his hand emitted weak chakra fluctuations. The next moment, he transformed from 1 to 3 and attacked the 2 Anbu head-on. The violent scene made the 2 Anbu obviously feel caught off guard. Of course they have heard about the Konoha-style swordsmanship possessed by Moonlight and Dark Knight in Konoha. Facing an illusory attack with lurking murderous intent, I had no time to think about it, so I quickly retreated and temporarily distanced myself. Seeing this, Atsuki Zien pulled Moonlight Hayate behind her, and at the same time threw out several shurikens with her backhand. Hey Feng, if you have the chance, run away first. Only if you rush to the pass stronghold to ask for help will we have a chance to be saved. Am I escaping alone? Moonlight Gale couldn't help but be startled and said, How could I leave you alone? If we die, let's die together. Mao Yuzian's expression changed slightly. She looked at Yu Guangfeng, who had a determined look on her face, and couldn't help but feel a little more moved in her heart. It can be said that in such a life and death situation, those who can still say such words can be regarded as sharing the same adversity. However, just as this thought flashed through his mind, a big hand instantly reached out from the ground. Hey Feng, be careful where you step. Oyu Zian exclaimed and jumped up quickly. At this moment, she realized that the attack by the 2 Anbu ninjas just now was just a feint attack. The leading team leader had already found the opportunity to lurk underground and conduct a sneak attack. However, what made Oyuki-Zien feel disappointed was that Yuguang Blast still stood there as if stunned, at a loss. Moonlight Hayate didn't notice the other party's existence originally, but after Oyuki-Zien reminded him, he slowed down a beat. Now he is still stunned, obviously unable to escape. Earth Release, the art of beheading in the heart. The Anbu ninja grabbed Moonlight Hayate's ankle. The surrounding ground quickly rolled like running water. Moonlight Gale woke up suddenly, and when he wanted to break away from the attack, he found that he had been dragged into the earth flow. The next moment, the chakra dissipated, leaving only a head protruding. The violent scene made Mao Yuzian's expression change dramatically. She never expected that Moonlight Swift Wind would be captured as soon as they met on the battlefield. Right now, she was the only one out of 7 people on the other side. The only way to save Moonlight Hayate was to escape to the stronghold and ask for help. Little girl, now is not the time for you to lose your mind. A sneering voice suddenly came. Only 2 ninjas were seen. With a backhand swing, 2 shurikens attacked her in a roundabout way. There is also a special rope on kunai. If you miss it even slightly, you may be tied up directly. However, being in midair, Mao Yuzian had no way to dodge. There are also Anbu ninjas who are watching eagerly all around. If there is any flaw, it may directly lead to death. Looking at the rapidly approaching rope, a hint of inexplicable bitterness appeared on Oyuzian's face. Looking at the past not far away, and smiling bitterly, a Shuriken suddenly shot out from the darkness. Den! Sparks flew out, and the 2 kunai were instantly knocked away. The sudden scene caused a dramatic change in the expressions of everyone present. What an exquisite shuriken technique. I can actually knock away 2 kunai with just 1 shuriken. The Anbu team leader lurking in the ground exclaimed in surprise. Without any time to think, he quickly glanced around and gave orders at the same time. Immediately explore the surrounding enemies and kill them immediately if found. As the awe-inspiring words came out, the Anbu captain thought that his men would take action instantly. However, when he saw the panic in their pupils, his nerves suddenly became tense. "Are you going to kill me?" Joking words were heard from behind, and the Anbu captain's expression changed drastically, and he hurriedly used earth stealth in an attempt to escape. However, as soon as he drilled into the soil, an awe-inspiring aura of death instantly spread throughout his body. "I found you." As the words fell, the fist wrapped in lightning, like a battle axe, hit the ground directly with the sound of wind and thunder. Boom! It exploded with a roar like dry thunder. The moment his fist hit the ground, the solid earth shattered. Spider web-like cracks quickly spread around. The Anbu squad leader's head exploded like a watermelon as soon as he dived into the soil. The hot blood splashed down, like bright fireworks, but it gave people a shocking feeling. Escape, let's escape quickly. The remaining 6 Anbu ninjas instantly panicked. With a flash of figure, he was about to leave. However, during this process, they always paid attention to Kinyu's figure. But with a slight movement, the frightening figure disappeared out of thin air. Thunderstorm knife. Kinyu's right hand turned into a hand sword, bursting out with subsonic speed in the mode of thunder escape chakra, and instantly appeared in front of the first escaping Anbu ninja. Without any hint of fancy, he swung his right hand towards his neck, and blood spurted out. Before the look of fear could dissipate, the huge head flew into the air. The violent scene shook everyone's nerves. Unfortunately, facing Kinyu, who was like the god of death, all defenses seemed feeble. 5 flashes, and they just had time to see the blue lightning. By the time you react, it's already too late. Just in time, a figure wrapped in lightning appeared in his mind, and his huge head flew out with blood. When Kinyu stopped, the 6 heads fell to the ground. Like rain hitting banana trees, large amounts of hot blood spattered out. Mao Yuixin and Xian had just stood firm. Seeing the person in front of them, Kinyu, who was bathed in thunder and had a warm smile on his face. Just like the boy next door, he couldn't help but take half a step back. "It's your turn now." Kinyu laughed playfully. "You're a pretty girl. Why don't you let me have some fun with you?" The low voice made Oyu Zian and Yueguang Gale's expressions freeze for a moment. They never imagined that the person in front of them was not a savior, but a prodigal son. Chapter 15. Running faster than a rabbit. "You, what exactly do you want to do?" Mao Yu Zian subconsciously took half a step back, after witnessing Kinyu instantly killing 7 Anbu. After hearing this frivolous words, she was willing to face those Anbu. "It's better to be treated lightly than to be killed. I won't tell you, but you should know it very well." Kinyu smiled playfully and looked at Moonlight Gale. "I'm giving you a chance to live now. Are you willing to let us go?" Yueguang Kaifeng looked happy and said hurriedly, "My father is Yueguang Henai. As long as you let us go, we will definitely pay you heavily afterwards." As he spoke, Yu Guangfeng thought about taking Weiyuki Zian away. "You seem to have made a mistake. What I mean is that only one of you can leave alive," Kinyu suddenly said. Moonlight Hayate and Oyu Zian's expressions couldn't help but stagnate. "Doesn't this make them fight to the death?" "Don't worry, you can decide who stays and who leaves. Of course I will do the killing." Kinyu smiled teasingly. "If you think you can be stronger than the 7 Anbu, come and die." The low voice echoed in the forest, adding an inexplicable sense of depression to the atmosphere. Mao Yu Zian couldn't help but look at Yueguang Blast. The scene that caught her eye made her stunned. "Zian, wait for me. This place is only a few thousand meters away from the stronghold. I am faster than you. I will definitely be able to move back to reinforce the troops." Moonlight Gale dropped these words, turned around and fled. The speed was so fast that it took all the energy out of breastfeeding. After a few ups and downs, he plunged into the forest and disappeared. "Tell me, the small universe will explode only when people are in trouble," Kinyu said with a smile. Oyuki Zian's face turned slightly pale. She took out a kunai from the ninja tool with her backhand and stabbed it directly into her throat. "Dang!" Kinyu threw out a shuriken with his backhand, instantly knocking the kunai out of Oyuki Zian's hand. Mao Yu Zian's expression changed, and she shouted urgently, "Didn't you say that there is only life and death? Can't I do it myself now?" "Of course," Kinyu said seriously, "but I'm just scaring you. I didn't expect that kid to run faster than a rabbit. Let's go, otherwise Uncle Oyu will worry about you." After leaving these words, Kinyu turned around and walked towards the stronghold. Mao Yu Zian was stunned. She had already contemplated suicide. Who would have expected the result to be like this? Looking at Kinyu's retreating figure, and the Moonlight Gale who had just escaped, there was a hint of self-mockery on his face. "Help, Uncle Maoyu, hurry up and save Zian." Moonlight Gale was detected by the secret whistle before he even set foot in the stronghold. Kinyu's battle just now was also detected by the sensing ninja. So Maoyu Kangwu and Quan Feng had already led people out. "Hey Feng, why are you here?" Maoyu Kangwu's expression couldn't help but change. "What were you talking about just now? What happened to Zian?" "Uncle Yuzuki, something bad has happened." Moonlight Hate explained hurriedly. "Zian and I were ordered to bring Senior Minato's Flying Thunder God Kunai to accurately position Senior's space jump. However, Ziyan and I were ambushed by Anbu roots several thousand meters away." At the critical moment, a young man with lightning arcs wrapped around his body took action and killed the Anbu people. However, he coveted Zian's beauty and asked one of us to leave. I was faster than Zian, so I came to ask for help. Looking at Moonlight Hate, who looked anxious and panicked, everyone looked at each other. "You bastard!" Maoyu Kangwu threw out with his backhand. Snapped! A crisp slap suddenly sounded. Yueguang Gale couldn't help being startled, covering his cheek and said, "Uncle Maoyu, why did you hit me? Go and save Zian quickly. Maybe you still have a chance if you go now. Go to your sister." Mao Kangwu almost kicked her away. 2 will survive, 1 will survive. You who stepped on the horse will escape first. If Xian meets someone other than Qin Yu this time and something happens to her, I will definitely destroy you. Even if your father is in a moonlit night, I don't care. In Mao Yu Kangwu's eyes, Yu Guang Beifeng and Mao Yu Xian can be regarded as childhood sweethearts. Moreover, Moonlight and Dark Night also taught Yuazuki Yuyuko the art of Konoha style swordsmanship. So, I still appreciate Moonlight hate. If this situation lasts longer, perhaps Mao Yu Kangwu will let them develop. It's great now. When faced with a life or death decision, I can run faster than a rabbit. This made Mao Yu Kangwu feel like he was blind. Uncle Mao Yu, what did you say? Xian is still in the hands of that madman. Yu Guang Gale's expression stiffened. Hi, are you looking for me? When I was taking a walk, I saw 2 dumbfounded young men, so I rescued them. A familiar voice came floating in the air. Yu Guangfeng couldn't help but be startled, and hurriedly followed the sound. What immediately caught his eye was that murderous face without blinking an eye. What Yu Guang Gale didn't expect was that Oyu Xian was walking slowly towards him with a frosty look on his face. Yui, are you okay? Yu Guang Kaifeng looked at Oyu Xian and couldn't help but said, You're such a funny kid. You ran faster than a rabbit just now. Now you're asking me if I did anything to Xian? Qin Yu said with a smile. I'm still young and don't understand that stuff. Yu Guangfeng was angry, and he could still remember the wretched look on Qin Yu's face just now. Xian, please listen to my explanation. Yu Guang Gaifeng hurriedly stepped forward. Snapped. A crisp slap sounded suddenly. There seems to be nothing to explain between us, Heiei-san. Yuzuki Xian said coldly and quietly. Dad, I'll take over the task. Well, let's talk after we go in. Mao Yukemu looked at Yu Guang Gale with a cold look and said, Girl, from now on, you have to use your eyes to recognize people. Some people will not show off their legs until the critical moment. Once they make the wrong choice, there is no turning back. Looking at Yu Xian, who walked away without any nostalgia, Yu Guangfeng's expression turned livid. Your name is Qin Yu. I want to be with you. Yu Guangfeng covered her still stinging cheek and shouted urgently. Do you want to duel with me? Come here, I just haven't killed enough. Qin Yu smiled playfully. Duel, Qin Yu, just go ahead and let us take a gamble. But your odds are very low. Looking at the noisy situation, Moonlight Hei's face turned red. Thinking of the 7 root ninjas who were instantly killed, he was completely discouraged. I'm going to hand over the task now. Moonlight Swift Wind turned around and left neatly. It once again caused everyone to burst into laughter. Qin Yu, have you really learned the Thunder Chakra mode? Quan Feng suddenly spoke. Chapter 16. After being sold, I helped count the money. There was an inexplicable silence in the huge ruins, and everyone stared at Qin Yu. No, Qin Yu said nonsense seriously. No. Quan Feng rolled his eyes and said, You kid really hides it well. Let me tell you secretly, that guy Mao Yu made a bet with us. If you learn the Thunder Chakra mode, he will let Xian go on a blind date with you. You are all 14 or 15 years old. It's time to start a family and start a business. Qin Yu almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. According to Quan Feng, he was sold just now and helped count the money. In the cave, Oyu Xian handed the flying thunder god kunai to Oyu Kangwu. Father, according to the 3rd generation's description, bring the flying thunder god kunai back. As long as you activate the kunai's technique, Father, Minato-senpai will be able to feel the coordinates and perform space jumps. Yuzuki Xian said urgently. The Kumo ninja army is approaching. According to the intelligence, I am afraid that the AB team will personally lead the team. Facing this kind of enemy, only Minato-senpai can fight against it. As he spoke, Yuzuki Xian opened the scroll that activated the flying thunder god kunai. Xian, there's no need. Mao Yukangwu stopped him with his hand, and said with a wry smile, "You are already too late." "Dad, what are you talking about? Didn't we catch up?" Mao Yuzian said anxiously. "This time there are hundreds of people in the Kumo ninja army. AI in the AB group is also the next successor designated by the third Raikage. Once they attack, there is no way to stop them here. Time is running out now, let's activate it quickly." "Zai Yan, it's really not necessary." Mao Yukangwu patted the back of Zai Yan's hand and said, "Qin Yu has already repelled them." "No, it should be said that he was killed." Having said this, even though it was Mao Yukangwu, a trace of awe could not help but appear on his face. Oyuzian's expression froze and she said urgently, "Dad, what happened? You just said that the person who killed Yun Ren was that Qin Yu? His alone?" "Yes, this is his own contribution." Mao Yukangwu's voice was trembling a little when he mentioned that battle. "If you saw it with your own eyes, you would be like me. Faced with the Cloud Ninja Army alone, with the help of Sky Thunder, used the S-Glass Thunder Escape Unicorn, and killed hundreds of Cloud Ninjas in one blow. Use a powerful pupil technique to summon a Blood Shura, inextinguishable black flames, and a powerful illusion that instantly suppresses the eight-tailed Jinchuriki." Mao Yuexi was stunned. This was the first time she saw her father, as if he were a child. Such respect for a young man. However, following Oyukangwu's description, Oyuzian could not help but have a vague picture of that battle emerge in her mind. "Dad, according to what you said, Qin Yu is hiding so deeply. Could he be a genius hidden secretly by the Uchiha clan?" Yuzuki Zian said in a deep voice, "With this kind of strength, I'm afraid he can compete for the position of Hokage." By the way, when AI left, he also said that the next decisive battle will be fought as a shadow. Mao Yukangwu said excitedly, "He also called Qin Yu the Bloody Asura." Mao Yuexian's face also changed. Of course she had heard of the Cloud Ninja AB group. Among them, AI is the successor of the next Raikage. Now Qin Yu has received such high praise and is recognized by the next generation of Raikage. It would be false to say that he is not qualified to be Hokage. By the way, Zian, I have something to discuss with you. Mao Yukangwu rubbed his hands and said with an embarrassed look on his face. Mao Yuzian frowned and said, "Dad, you were so excited just now. You won't do anything to be sorry for me." "Ahem, Zian, don't say that. Dad just thinks Qin Yu is good and plans to introduce him to you on a blind date." Mao Yukangwu coughed dryly. "Dad, you actually betrayed me." Mao Yuzian looked livid. She never expected that when she met Mao Yukangwu, he would make such a decision for her on the battlefield. This horse was sold and they helped count the money. "Zian, don't be so excited. You have also seen that boy hate. When life and death were at stake, he actually gave up on you and ran away alone. But Qin Yu was different. When Yun Ren attacked and he is fighting against it alone. As long as he is not blind, he can tell which one is strong and which one is weak." Mao Yukangwu's face showed anger. When she thought about it, if the person Mao Yuzian met this time was not Qin Yu, then death would be waiting for her. "Get out of the way, get out of the way, I want to see Zai Yan." The voice of the moonlight and the wind came from outside the cave. "Zian, I'll go out and send him away, so don't tangle with him anymore." Mao Yukangwu's face darkened and he stood up. "Dad, let me go, this is my business." Oyu Zian stopped him with her hand and walked straight out of the cave. Facing the noise of the moonlight blast, the people around were obviously attracted. "Get out of the way, I want to see Zian, I have something to say to her." Yu Guang Jiafeng shouted urgently. Unfortunately, no matter how he called, the two Konoha ninjas guarding outside the cave remained indifferent. "Moonlight Hate, please stop fooling around here." In Yufeng advised in a deep voice, "This is an important place. As a chunin, you cannot enter casually without communication. Quickly step aside, don't it's getting in the way of other people." "Uncle Quanfeng, who am I in the way?" I just want to explain clearly to Ziyan that I was just eager to save people and planned to come back to bring in reinforcements. Yu Guangbeleng hurriedly turned around and looked behind him. What caught his eye was an unexpected figure. You're blocking me. Qin Yu stretched and said, It's getting dark. I want to go back and have a good rest. Remember to tell me when you have dinner. Qin Yu, don't worry, we won't miss you. The two Konoha ninjas who were originally indifferent quickly put on smiles on their faces. Looking at this scene, Moonlight Hayate couldn't help but be confused. Uncle in Yubong, didn't you say that this cave is an important place and Chunin can't just enter it? Why can't he? Moonlight Hayate said urgently. As soon as these words came out, the Konoha ninja present instantly became unhappy. In Yifeng was no exception. He looked at each other coldly and said, Moonlight Hayate, sometimes enough is enough. If Qin Yu can be considered a Chunin, then there may be no Hokage in this world. Yes, for a person like you who is greedy for life and afraid of death. If it weren't for the fact that you are also a Konoha ninja, and the moonlight and darkness are still one of the 8 colors of Konoha, we would never let people like you come in. Moonlight Hayate, if I were you, I'd better stay aside and don't continue to embarrass yourself here. Moonlight Gale was stunned. For a long time, because of the backing of the moonlight and dark night and the limitations of blood inheritance, he has always been regarded as a genius. Chapter 17. Who is faster? Are you deliberately isolating me? Zian and I are childhood sweethearts. She will definitely listen to my explanation. A trace of madness flashed across Yu Guangkaifeng's face and he said urgently, Let me in. Zian will definitely forgive me. Moonlight Gale, you've had enough. Mao Yuzian's voice came out from inside the cave. Soon I saw 2 figures coming out of it. This time, it has nothing to do with me. Qin Yu shrugged helplessly and said, He is the one who shouted and wanted to explain to you. You can solve it yourself. Looking at Qin Yu, who was the instigator, he turned around and left coolly. Mao Yuzian was startled at first and her eyebrows furrowed. Qin Yu, can you stay for a while? Shall I stay? Qin Yu glanced at Mao Yukangwu suspiciously. I instantly smelled what was going on. Zian, why are you leaving him? Go to the grass over there and I will explain to you alone. Yu Guanggale hurriedly reached out to catch Oyu Zian. However, before they could touch him, he was avoided by Oyu Zian. Moonlight Gale, please don't do anything in front of my partner, otherwise I will sever the relationship with you as ordinary friends. Oyu Zian suddenly spoke. As soon as these words came out, everyone present could not help but look at Qin Yu. Qin Yu was helpless for a moment. He finally understood what it meant to be shot while lying down. Zian, what are you talking about? Who is your target? Yu Guangfeng was anxious. It's Uchiha Qin Yu. My father has promised me to date Qin Yu, so please don't harass us in the future. Yuzuki Zian said coldly. Him? Yu Guanggale couldn't help but be startled and said, It's impossible, I don't believe you. You said that just to make me angry. You and Uchiha Qin Yu don't know each other at all. Among the younger generation, it has been instilled in many minds that the Uchiha clan is the source of rebellion. In order to avoid suspicion, many people will actively avoid members of the Uchiha clan. Moonlight Gale, you've had enough. A hint of disgust appeared on Oyu Zian's face. In her eyes, the former Moonlight Gale was a genius who was sensible, talented, and responsible. I never expected that I would encounter such a thing when I left the village for the first time. No, I don't care. Give me a chance to explain. Yu Guanggale begged urgently. Lick the dog. Qin Yu rolled his eyes helplessly and said, If she finishes explaining, you will stop making trouble. Yes, as long as Zian finishes explaining, I will leave obediently. Moonlight Gale said with a stubborn look on his face. Okay, you watch. Qin Yu put his arm around Mao Yuzian's waist, and with a sudden force of his right hand, he pulled her into his arms. Without any hesitation, he kissed her directly under the stunned eyes of everyone. It was a shallow kiss. However, Oyu Xian's mind still went blank with a roar. What are you doing? Moonlight Gale suddenly woke up. This was the first kiss that he had been eyeing for 7 or 8 years but could not get. Now it was stolen by Kinyu in the blink of an eye. How could he accept this? Isn't this an explanation? Kinyu spread his hands and said, "You have to give up now. If nothing happens, I'll go back and rest first." Seeing Kinyu's back turning away with a nonchalant look on his face after the forced kiss, Yu Guangfeng's expression instantly became distorted. Without any hesitation, he took out a kunai from his waist and stabbed Kinyu in the back. The close distance caused everyone's expressions to change drastically. They never thought that Moonlight Gale would be so crazy. However, facing all this, Kinyu seemed to be unknown. Phew! The kunai pierced Kinyu's body instantly, and a white mist immediately rose up, making the crazy moonlight blast stunned for a moment. "Idiot, I'm behind you." Kinyu's right hand turned into a knife and slashed directly towards Yu Guanggale's neck. Moonlight Swift's expression changed dramatically, but in this case, he had no time to dodge. "All we can do is wait for the attack to fall." Whoosh! A golden flash suddenly appeared. Before anyone could react, an unexpected figure appeared in front of Kinyu. He placed his hand on Kinyu's wrist. The sudden figure made everyone's pupils shrink suddenly. That golden hair made Kinyu couldn't help but smile. "Minato, after hiding for so long, I thought you didn't want to come out." It's the golden shining Minato Namikaze, and he arrived. Only the space-time ninjutsu can cross 2 major battlefields and get here in such a short time. TCH, why don't you say that only Namikaze Minato's speed can stop Kinyu's attack, otherwise that kid Moonlight Hayate will definitely suffer. HMPH, this brat won't be able to swallow his anger unless he suffers a little, but let's forget it now. Faced with Moonlight Gale's behavior of abandoning his companions on the battlefield, many people were dissatisfied. Especially his willful behavior just now has attracted the hostility of many people. This is a battlefield, not a place where emotions are mixed with personal feelings between children. I actually don't want to show up. After I found out that the Kumo ninja's attack was repelled by you, I thought about returning to Earth Country. Unfortunately, if I hadn't taken action just now, this kid would have suffered a lot. Namikaze Minato said with a bitter smile. "Lord Minato, it was him. It was he who teased me in the forest just now that made Ziyam misunderstand me. You must make the decision for me." Moonlight Hayate said urgently. Kinyu smiled and shook his head and said, "Minato, you have also seen it. To calm him down, you have to suffer a little. Besides, you can't stop whoever I want to teach. Boom." A burst of white mist appeared on Kinyu's body, and the next moment the whole person disappeared out of thin air. Is it the shadow clone technique? Namikaze Minato's expression changed. There was no time to think too much, so he quickly turned around and looked. At the same time, he flicked his right hand backhand, and the kunai with the flying thunder god seal was instantly released from his hand. Kinyu, who had just appeared behind the moonlight blast, had a smile on his face, and his body swayed half an inch like a ghost. The flying thunder god kunai barely missed him, and his attack failed. "It's about to appear," someone exclaimed. Everyone's nerves suddenly became tense, and there was a hint of urgency in their eyes. The art of flying thunder god. Minato Namikaze didn't see any movement, and he disappeared out of thin air the next moment. When he reappeared, he was already in the sky above the flying thunder god kunai. He directly reached out and grabbed Kinyu's shoulder. "I caught you." A smile appeared on Namikaze Minato's face. It's been a long time since he met anyone who dared to challenge his speed. Kinyu's actions now undoubtedly made him have a competitive mentality. "Really?" Kinyu said with a smile on his face. "However, you are too naive." A small voice suddenly spread. The next moment, crackling thunder arcs bloomed on Kinyu's body. Under the violent lightning, Kinyu, who was about to be caught, disappeared out of thin air, appeared again, already behind the moonlight blast. The hand knife transformed into his right hand was as fast as thunder, and it struck directly at the back of his neck. Chapter 18. We can only be friends, not enemies. Boom! A dull collision sound suddenly sounded. The hand knife struck directly on Moonlight Gale's neck. Under the huge force, he rolled his eyes, passed out, and fell to the ground. The violent scene left everyone present stunned. Looking at the thunder light dissipating from Kinyu's body, his face was full of disbelief. If they were to speculate on whether Kinyu had mastered the Thunder Chakra mode a moment ago, they were speculating based on Yu Guangfeng's one-sided words. However, now seeing it with my own eyes, the meaning is different. It had only been half a day since he defeated the Cloud Ninja. Kinyu then learned the Thunder Escape Chakra mode, which is known as one of the most difficult secret techniques in Yunrin Village. What words can be used to describe this speed fear? Evildoer. Indescribable. More importantly, there is no contrast and no harm. Facing Minato Namikaze, who is known as the Golden Flash, Kinyu was able to teach Moonlight Hate a lesson. It means that in terms of speed, it is probably even better. Haha, I'm sorry, Minato. No one can stop the person I want to teach, not even myself. Kinyu laughed dryly. If it were the former Uchiha Kinyu, facing the legendary pride of Konoha, he would definitely be like a pug, groveling. But now that he has a one-click max level system, he wants to give in. Then just take a shower and go to bed. Kinyu's words are serious. If you can be merciful, it is the best lesson for Moonlight Hate. Namikaze Minato is a new generation of peaceful ninja. Moreover, he and Uchiha Fugaku have a very good personal relationship, and they are still regarded as brothers in private. He has always been very concerned about the problems of the Uchiha clan and Uchiha Fugaku. Both have a peaceful solution mentality. Otherwise, Uchiha Fugaku, who had already awakened the main Jikaya Sharingan, would not have cared about the relationship with Namikaze Minato. He firmly believes in Namikaze Minato's philosophy, and I am afraid that he has already turned against Konoha. Unfortunately, counting on fingers, the Third Ninja War is now coming to an end. A year later, Namikaze Minato was dead, and a series of things happened under the control of Danzo and other high-level officials. Of course, Kinyu didn't pay attention to all this at all. With the addition of the system, the world is so vast that there is no place to hide. If you really push him hard, throw 2 or 3 big moves at random, pat your butt and run away, no one can stop him. Okay, if nothing happens, I'll go back and take a rest first. Quellen is really hard. Kinyu patted Namikaze Minato on the shoulder. Under the stunned eyes of everyone, he walked into the cave. In their eyes, Namikaze Minato was an unattainable existence. Known as the most qualified person in Konoha to inherit the identity of the next Hokage, he is treated with respect on weekdays. Even the older generation is no exception. When have you ever seen someone as big-hearted and devoid of awe as Kinyu? After watching Kinyu leave, Oyukemu stepped forward with a wry smile and said, Lord Minato, don't blame Kinyu. The ability to defeat Yun Nin and the AB combination this time is all due to him. Besides, he is only in his early 15th or 16th year and doesn't know much about etiquette. Compared with Namikaze Minato, who was in his early 20s, Kinyu could definitely be called a junior. Moreover, compared with Namikaze Minato's long-term prominent status, Kinyu does lack etiquette. Senior Kangmu, you called me sir again. Namikaze Minato shook his head helplessly and said, being with you, I like Kinyu instead. However, according to my understanding, Kinyu is originally a junior who is not very outstanding among the Uchiha clan. When we came out, Fugaku asked me to help him take care of Kinyu. It seems that he kept it secret. Regarding these words, everyone in the venue looked sad. The soles of my feet were still feeling cold at the thought of the Kirin falling from the sky and the main Jikaya Sharingan. Lord Minato, your status is different now. You are qualified for us old immortals to call you this, Yuzuki Kangu said with a smile. However, we have something to report. I'm afraid Kinyu deliberately didn't want to get involved in the dispute between Konoha and the Uchiha clan, so he hid it intentionally. As Atsuki Soko narrated, Namikaze Minato, who originally had a warm smile on his face, became serious. Senior Kangwoo, do you think Kinyu possesses a powerful thunder escape ninjutsu, a special Sharingan eye, and a heaven-defying talent for learning ninjutsu? Namikaze Minato couldn't help but ask. Seeing everyone in the field nodding in unison, Namikaze Minato became even more frustrated. Senior Kangwoo, I'll leave Moonlight Gale to you first. I'll go check on Kinyu. Lord Minato, don't worry, but in Kumo Ninja Village, AI, the next successor to the Raikage, once said that Kinyu has the qualifications to become the next Hokage. I hope you don't mind. Yuzuki Kangwoo hesitated for a moment and said, this time, Danzo's confidants Shenfeng and Aburame took root. Not only did they escape, but they also leaked information about our stronghold to Yun Ren. If Danzo knew that Kinyu ruined his men's affairs, he would probably regarding Kinyu. We hope that Lord Minato can help him at the critical moment. In the eyes of Maoyu Kangwoo and others, external enemies can still be eliminated with powerful means. But in the face of internal fighting, it can be said that it is easy to hide from open guns, but difficult to guard against hidden arrows. Senior Kangwoo, don't worry, I know how to do it. Namikaze Minato nodded and said, wait a moment, I will report what happened here to the third Hokage first. With the third Hokage coming forward, Danzo will restrain himself a little. Atsuki Sangwoo breathed a sigh of relief. This matter will be arranged this way for the time being. The next defense will depend on everyone's concerted efforts. Minato Namikaze patted Yuzuki Kangwoo on the shoulder and said, I'll go talk to Kinyu first. After watching Minato Namikaze leave, Yuzuki Xian finally lost her composure and said, Dad, are you saying that once Kinyu returns to Konoha, I'm afraid he will be attacked by the roots? What's wrong? You care about your little lover so quickly? In Yufeng teased. Oyuki Xian glared and said, who is his lover? I just don't want Konoha Ninja Village to lose such a strong man. If this kind of person is a companion, he is an absolutely powerful backing, but if he is an enemy, he is too terrifying. Maoyu Kangwoo suddenly said. As soon as these words came out, everyone's expressions couldn't help but change. Just as Maoyu Kangwoo said, facing an existence like Kinyu. The only thing we can do is to be friends and not enemies. Even if we can't become friends, we can only be passers-by. Chapter 19 Plotting against Namikaze Minato. In the cave, Kinyu sat cross-legged and restored the chakra in his body. At the same time, he was thinking about how to solve the problem of lack of blue in a short time. After these two battles, his chakra was depleted, if not for the strength of his eyes. I'm afraid I won't be able to be strong-willed when facing the enemy. After much thinking, Kinyu finally came up with two methods. Make a contract with Maiamu Mountain and then learn the Sage Mode. By absorbing the power of nature, you can quickly return to mana. Second, find the head and tail beast to be the Jinchuriki yourself. This is the quickest way Kinyu can think of at the moment. However, Mt. Miyaboku's psychic contract was always worn by Jiraiya. Since Orochimaru rebelled and escaped from Konoha, Jiraiya has also become a daddy and has been following Orochimaru. It might be difficult to find Jiraiya in a short period of time. As for finding a tailed beast to be a Jinchuriki, looking around the entire ninja world except for the 3 tails, the other 8 tailed beasts are all inhabited by Jinchuriki. During the current war, every ninja village was very cautious about protecting the Jinchuriki. For a moment, trying to use this method to solve the problem of lack of blue seemed even more unrealistic than the first one. Thinking of this, Kinyu sighed helplessly. It's so hard for me. Kinyu, if you have any problems, you can talk to me if you don't mind. Namikaze Minato's voice came suddenly. Seeing Minato Namikaze approaching, Kinyu's eyes couldn't help but light up. Namikaze Minato's ninjutsu can be said to be that of the Gosen family. The flying thunder god in the starting hand, the ultimate move Rasengan, can't defeat the zombie. In addition to these three ninjutsu, in Kinyu's impression, Namikaze Minato did not perform many other ninjutsu. However, among these three ninjutsu, Kinyu valued the flying thunder god technique more. The thunder chakra mode can greatly increase Kinyu's speed, but when it comes to escaping to kill enemies and being unexpected, there is probably no ninjutsu that can compare to the flying thunder god's technique. Kinyu, are you worried that Danzo will be detrimental to you? Namikaze Minato said tentatively. Kinyu raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect Minato Namikaze to automatically make up his mind. Originally, he was planning on how to trick Namikaze Minato into teaching him the Flying Thunder God technique. Now he saved a lot of time to explain, and said one by one, "This is just a small matter. If Danzo really wants to take action against me, the worst I can do is not go back. The world is so big, there will always be a hiding place for me." Namikaze Minato's expression froze. This is what worries him the most. According to the descriptions of Oyu Kangwoo and others, Kinyu's strength is enough to reach the level of Jounin. It is possible to override this, if paired with amazing ninjutsu talent. Once Kinyu leaves Konoha Ninja Village, it will be a huge loss and there will be hidden dangers. Kinyu, don't take things too seriously. I have a good relationship with Fugaku and I will never let Danzo target you unscrupulously. Namikaze Minato quickly persuaded, and I will take care of this matter in advance. Report it to the third Hokage, and with his wisdom he will definitely handle this matter fairly. You just need to feel free to follow me back to Konoha. Kinyu also knew about Namikaze Minato in the original work. As the saying goes, good people are short-lived. Therefore, Kinyu did not doubt Namikaze Minato's intentions, but his purpose was to get the Flying Thunder God. If he were dismissed with just these few words, it would be completely rubbing his IQ into the ground. I also want to go back, but unfortunately I don't have many means of self-protection. If you are willing to teach me the art of Flying Thunder God, I might consider it, Kinyu said with a smile. Namikaze Minato couldn't help but be startled and then said with a wry smile, "It turns out that this was your intention from the beginning. It seems that you don't take Danzo seriously at all, but this Flying Thunder God technique is a forbidden technique developed by the second Hokage. Even if I want to teach it to you, I need the consent of the third Hokage." Nam Fang Shui Men said helplessly. "If you really want to learn, I can teach you the ninjutsu I developed." Are you talking about the Rasengan? Kinyu rolled his eyes helplessly. With a person like Minato Namikaze, it would be harder for him to teach Flying Thunder God in private than to kill him. It seems that we can only think of other ways. Do you also know about the Rasengan? Namikaze Minato said with a smile on his face. This Rasengan does not require seals, and the amount of chakra required is average. Moreover, I have also developed a systematic learning method. I will demonstrate it now. Show you. Rasengan, Namikaze Minato said, the fingers of his right hand tensed slightly. Surrounded by chakra, blue air waves were generated quickly, forming a blue chakra ball in the blink of an eye. It looks like a blue starry sky. Of course, if you judge a book by its appearance, you will underestimate this Rasengan. I'm afraid it will often become the finale. In the original work, there is a funny joke. There is no enemy that the Rasengan cannot deal with. If there is an opponent that cannot be dealt with by one, use two. If you still can't solve the problem, you can try different ways to make the balls, and you can always get the finale. Did you see clearly? Minato Namikaze dispersed the Rasengan in his hand and asked, "I will demonstrate for the second time now. With your qualifications, as long as you practice well and control the movement of chakra well, you should. I learned it in a week." Looking at Namikaze Minato, who was full of enthusiasm, Kinyu couldn't refuse. Moreover, Naruto's wind release Rasengan in the original work is indeed awesome. Compared with the use of thunder done Qilin, it is also less cumbersome. Feeling the chakra in Namikaze Minato's body start to move again, Kinyu's main Jikaya Sharingan started to move. In Naruto, the Sharingan is a native plug-in, so it's useless if you don't use it. Minato Namikaze, who was always paying attention to Kinyu, felt at this moment that his whole person was being seen through. The moment he raised his head, his eyes met and his pupils could not help but shrink. The chakra condensed in his hand also collapsed. "Are you the main Jikyu Sharingan?" Namikaze Minato couldn't help but ask. Kinyu was not surprised by Minato Namikaze's statement. The main Jikaya Sharingan is not the first time it has appeared in the history of Konoha. At least all information about Uchiha Madara will be completely recorded by the second Hokage, and Namikaze Minato is the most promising being to become the fourth Hokage. In order to solve the problems of the Uchiha clan, he was particularly concerned. Knowing the existence of the main Jikaya Sharingan is not a surprise. Isn't it strange that an unknown junior would possess the main Jikaya Sharingan? Kinyu had no intention of hiding it. In the face of absolute strength, all conspiracies and machinations are useless. Namikaze Minato took a deep breath and nodded. "I finally know why they say you have the talent to learn ninjutsu." Chapter 20 The Mist Ninja Attacks. The Sharingan of the Uchiha clan has the ability to copy ninjutsu, although not everyone can do it. Namikaze Minato looked at it for a second and then looked away. However, in Konoha's secret information, there is a description of the Uchiha clan's main Jikaya Sharingan. Once awakened, they will obtain a special pupil technique. If I guessed correctly, the huge Shira ghost, black flames, and powerful all the ninjutsu are caused by these eyes. Kinyu had already expected Namikaze Minato's speculation. From the very beginning, when he decided to fight off the Kumo ninja and a B combination, using Susanoo, Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi, he knew that this matter could not be hidden for long. He nodded and said, "You are right, he is indeed the hot choice for the next generation of Hokage." Hearing this, Namikaze Minato smiled bitterly and said, "There are many outstanding people in Konoha, including Fugaku, Shisui, the Sannin where the teacher is, and you. I am just active on the front line and have no political background, which makes it easier for people to accept me. If we really want to compete for strength, Teacher Jiraiya, Fugaku, Shisui, and others are more suitable." Looking at the humble Minato, Namikaze Kinyu couldn't help but roll his eyes and said, "Show it when you should show it. Otherwise, why would you become so powerful? Hide it so no one can see it. That would be pointless. People are selfish. When you become a hero, you have to keep secrets. But I can't do it." Namikaze Minato smiled bitterly and said, "I didn't expect Kinyu. Your views on things are really enlightening. Although I can't teach you the Flying Thunder God technique, but when I return to Konoha, I will ask the third Hokage for instructions. He should agree. Now let me demonstrate the second Rasengan first." As he spoke, Namikaze Minato once again concentrated the chakra in his body. However, before the Rasengan was formed, there were rapid footsteps outside the door. "Lord Minato, something serious has happened. A secret whistle has reported that there are mist ninjas 3 kilometers away. There are quite a few of them. The leading ninja is not yet known." Yuzuki Kanwu hurriedly broke in. Seeing the Rasengan scattered in Namikaze Minato's hand, he realized that the timing seemed a little wrong, and a trace of apology appeared on his face. "Kinyu, I'm sorry. I will demonstrate the Rasengan thing when I come back. You have consumed a lot of chakra in the battle just now. Now rest in the stronghold. Let me kill those mist ninjas." Namikaze Minato dropped this after saying that. He rushed out in a hurry. After Maoyu Kanwu cast an apologetic look at Kinyu, he quickly followed him. After the two left, the huge cave returned to calm again. "I didn't expect that even the Mist Ninja would send people to attack in a roundabout way. It seems that they all want to beat up the drowned dog." Kinyu smiled playfully. Originally, I planned to find a tailed beast to use as a chakra cache machine. If I could catch a small leader, I might be able to find out the whereabouts of the three tails. However, let's give it a try now and learn the Rasengan. Maybe there will be unexpected surprises. While Kinyu was thinking, he recalled in his mind the scene where Namikaze Minato used the Rasengan for the second time under the copy of the Manjikayo Sharingan. The little chakra left in the body roared and flowed, quickly gathering in his right hand. Originally, the Rasengan was so difficult that even a low-level player like Naruto could learn it with systematic practice. Now Kinyu has used the Manjikayo Sharingan to thoroughly analyze the operating structure of the Rasengan, so that when it is operated, it will be more effective with half the effort. Rasengan. The 5 fingers of Kinyu's right hand tensed slightly, and the blue chakra released quickly gathered in the palm of his hand. The next moment, with the sound of high-frequency chakra flowing, the Rasengan condensed instantly. Ding Dong discovered the A-level ninjutsu Rasengan. Can the host reach the level with one click? Listening to the sound of the system, Kinyu couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. This Rasengan could have been transformed into an extreme form by Namikaze Minato. If you can continue to reach full level, what will happen next? Maximum level immediately. Kinyu did not hesitate and immediately issued the order. Ding dang, congratulations to the host for obtaining the big Jade Rasengan. Ding Dong detected the host's Thunder attribute Chakra and obtained the Thunder Release Rasengan. 2 voices sounded in succession, making Kinyu confused. Originally, I just planned to imitate the original work, learn how to roll the meatballs, and then use the Wind Release Shuriken. Unexpectedly, by relying on the system to reach the full level with one click, I also got the Daimler Rasengan and the Thunder Release Rasengan. As for why no other attributes appear, I'm afraid the system couldn't detect changes in other attributes of the chakra in his body. It seems that I will get a fairy body in the future and rub all the balls with changing properties. Kinyu put away his thoughts. In the outside world, everyone's nerves were tense when faced with the sudden appearance of the Mist Ninja. As soon as Namikaze Minato left the cave, he issued a few strict orders and then led a small team of people to the place where the target appeared. That is the place closest to Konoha and Water Country. It is a pity that Namikaze Minato was sent to the battlefield between the Kingdom of Wind and the Kingdom of Earth early in the morning and did not leave the Flying Thunder God technique in the vicinity of the Kingdom of Water. Otherwise, he could reach the destination as soon as possible with a single space jump. After Namikaze Minato and his team left, the strength of the guards at the stronghold, which originally had only 26 people, was suddenly reduced to 12. This is because Mao Yuzian and Moonlight Blast have already been taken into account. Dad, do I need to do something? Oyuzian couldn't help but said, the number of enemies is unknown now, and I'm worried that they will attack the stronghold in a roundabout way. As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere in the venue became a bit solemn. The nerves of those who stayed here were suddenly tense. However, as soon as this worry came to his mind, Mao Yukanwu looked back at the cave where Kinyu was and secretly breathed a sigh of relief. He patted Mao Yuzian on the shoulder and said, "Silly girl, don't worry. The manpower at the stronghold is insufficient and Lord Minato is not here, but don't forget that Kinyu is there." Having said this, Mao Yukanwu looked at the awakened Moonlight Gale and warned in a deep voice, "Gate, I hope that when you meet Kinyu next time, you will never mess around again. He is not a being that you can compare with." Moonlight Gale's face darkened, he clenched his fists angrily, raised his head stubbornly and said, "Uncle Oyu, don't worry, my intelligence escort mission has been completed. As long as Kinyu is here, it won't be of much use if I stay here. I will leave the stronghold now and go back to Konoha to resume my life." After leaving these words, Moonlight Gale walked outside the stronghold. However, just after taking 3 or 4 steps, a huge black shadow fell from the sky. There was no hint of fancy, it just hit him directly. Boom. Moonlight Gale was directly pressed to the ground. Feeling the warmth and the smell of blood on his face, he struggled a little and looked up. The sight he saw made him look pale. All right, legends, that's it for today. If you're ready for the next chapter, smash that like button and flood the comments right now. Remember, we've got 3 days to prove this story needs to continue. Subscribe so you don't miss the drop, and I'll meet you in the next audiobook.